Hi?
The guardian of this fountain is destroyed, and I weep for her. She was once one of our order, but lured by Lee's promises of wealth and power, she betrayed us. This thing is the corrupted spirit of Xiang Wu. During the attack, she and several other spirit monks betrayed us by tainting the holy fountains with human blood. Long before the attack, Lee sent spies to bribe some of our weaker members. When they tainted the fountains, the power sustaining us against the army vanished. After the battle, the Emperor executed Xiang Wu and the others, and he used the power of the Water Dragon to bind their spirits to the fountains. Their crime was terrible, but they did not deserve this fate. They suffered endless torment from which they could never escape. Such is the power of the binding. The binding is a sacred ritual of the spirit monks. We can draw on the power of the Water Dragon to bind a spirit to us. It is one of our tools for shepherding the dead. Even before Dirge was befouled, there were ghosts in the world. Some spirits would become lost in their journey here, or refuse to let go of the mortal world and go mad. If we found one of these restless ghosts, we could bind it to us and bring it to Dirge. Then we would release the spirit, so the Water Dragon could lead it into the afterlife. The binding is a great gift from the Water Dragon, if used properly. But the power can be abused. The Emperor bound the traitors not to himself, but to a place. A spirit can never escape such a binding. It feels an inexorable pull, but it has nowhere to go. It feels a compulsion to obey, but is never given a command. The spirit twists and corrupts, and in its agony it goes mad. Binding a spirit to a place is a terrible crime for our order. The only thing worse is binding a living creature. Binding the living condemns them to a fate worse than death. It forces the subject to obey and robs them of their free will. As a spirit monk, you must never do such a thing. The ability to bind spirits comes from the essence of the Water Dragon inside you. You may not have the power now, but one day you will be able to call upon it when needed. But this is not the time for lessons or instruction. The Guardian is dead, but you must place the seal on the fountain for it to be fully restored.
So anyways, hi Exim, Durg, Berenian, Baron, Dream Whisperer, and Takoida and Loner. What's up, everyone? So we just got told, hey, you could be incredibly evil if you want here. Wink, wink. And good morning, Blackwell. I'm not actually a big fan of crackers. The only crackers I've ever enjoyed are goldfish. And even those I can only have in certain quantities because they hurt my throat.
It worked! The fountain is restored, and the gates to the inner courtyard have opened.
What? Yeah, you can be closed fist my arse. You can be really messed up, pretty much from this point onwards. I suppose you could be the whole game, but like the most messed up things I remember are from this section. You know, like binding the water dragon and enslaving, you know, Death's Hand, and all sorts of fun stuff like that. Ruling on high as Sultan, you know.
The first fountain has been restored. You have done well.
Oh yeah, killing your friends for a blood sacrifice. Can't forget that.
Great mistress, it is heaven itself to see you again. I have been so lost without your wisdom.
Blah, blah, blah. Don't lick her boots too badly.
I have left you without my guidance for far too long, Abbot Song. But I could not speak with you. My strength was consumed contacting the last of the Order. You are the last. There is no one else that can do what you are destined to do. I had to conserve and prepare. I did not know the exact day you would cross to this realm.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, you did use me.
The glorious strategist laid his plans carefully. The only thing he could not account for was my intervention in the instant after the Emperor's death, before he took my power. You were doomed long before I or my abbot entered your company. Had you deviated from Sun Li's plan, he would have ended his experiment at a time I was still helpless. Li is consuming my power, drawing it through the amulet he stole when he betrayed you. You must restore the next fountain before it is too late.
I mean, yeah, I got this, dude.
What you see is how you perceive abilities that are inherently yours as a spirit monk. Essence gems still serve you because the amulet was a pathway, not a source of power. The amulet trains you to access what is already present, something Sun Li misunderstood. However, as a focus, it still allows him to take my power much faster than his brother did. Let the wisdom of the abbot guide you if you need aid. Restore the second fountain, and I will speak to you again, if I am able.
Good morning, Nemesis.
I sense my former student refuses to rest easy. The time for subtlety is past. You are too valuable to abandon a second time. Come, we must return to Dirge.
The second fountain is here, but the seal is missing. This could only be possible if the guardian bound to this fountain has been destroyed. This is troubling. I feel a foul taint here. Something worse than the corruption of the Emperor. Something older. Something not of this realm. There are unnamed things barred from entering both the mortal world and the spirit realm. But with the water dragon gone, such a being may have crossed into Dirge. Such a creature would be drawn to the corruption of the fountain. It must have destroyed the Guardian and hidden the seal so the fountain could never be restored.
I mean, we can find it, dude.
The creature would not go far. Wait, do you feel that? Something is coming.
Oh no. It's... a thing.
A message from my master. You restored one fountain, but the guardian of the seal was weak. The seal of the second fountain, it's not so easily claimed.
You're, you got a little bit of a...
I am the beginning of suffering. It was I who devoured the guardian bound to this fountain and claimed the seal for my master. Seek me out, traverse the path of the demons, and you can reclaim the seal. If you dare.
Like, do you need an analgesic cream? Look like you got a little... Well, this is obviously a trap.
I agree. The demon would not reveal itself without cause. But there may be a way to yet overcome this demon. I know of a gem here in the monastery, a gem of great power. You can use it to help defeat this monster.
I can also turn into a Jade Golem. I'm just saying.
The gem has been kept here in the monastery for many generations, guarded by powerful spells that keep evil at bay. The spells persisted, even after Dirge fell. The demon seeks to lure us to its lair, but it may also be trying to lure us away from the gem. We must go through the opposite arch if you wish to claim the gem.
What about the spells protecting it?
You are the last, Spirit Monk. The wards will not keep you from the gem. But take care. Its power will be like a beacon drawing all manner of dark spirits near. Battling through such creatures may be just as difficult as facing the demon. In any case, the choice is yours.
Listen, Loner, my gun's spirit is with me. Always. By the way, hi, Cord, and hello, Platy. Cord, I'm not sure if with all the whole cybernetics thing you should be taking a shower in the traditional sense, so... maybe don't do that. This way, I think? I'm trying to remember. Because obviously we're going to get the superpowered gem of superpowerness. We have to get the Jedi Master robes. Duh. Hello, cubanization. There it is. Got the gem. We're cool. We're cool. I should save in case I'm going the wrong way. Rah, rah. Yeah, no. Whoops. No, Dream Whisperer. When would I have time to do that? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, I have absolutely no time to do something like that right now in my life. I mean, I got to bed at about 1 last night.
What's this? Another spirit drawn to this place? Another ghost seeking to claim the power of the gem? Your quest will end in failure, as did mine.
But...
For 20 years, I have sought to pass the wards protecting this gem. Its power calls out to me, yet the magic guarding this prize has kept me at bay. None can pass.
Yes, I did, Platy, and it took forever because I had to do every cell manually. The wards protect against evil, but I can pass.
You are bold. Do you not know my power? I could snuff out your existence like a flame. But wait! There is something different about you. You bear the mark of the water dragon. You can pass through the wards. As will I. Once I have devoured your spirit.
Why does everyone try to kill me? I'm a giant golem, leave me alone! You'd think the giant golem thing... I mean, I guess they don't see that, in fairness. Stop blocking. Stop blocking! What, that was Mark Meer? Oh yeah, now I can turn into the Red Minister, which... It's hilarious because it's worse than the Jade Golem in basically every way. So, you know. But we'll show it off. Why not? I have to admit, I don't have a good ear for Mark Mears' voice. I never have. Like, I basically just have trouble recognizing him. That's all. So this is mage form. It is extremely slow. Does hardly any damage in melee. And its big hit doesn't do a lot of damage. So yeah, it's total crap is what I'm trying to say. Let's switch before we completely lose all our mana here. Like, I'm sure there's a way to make it useful. I just don't know what it is myself. I remember the Red Minister form was introduced to me as, so here's the crap form. Like, someone mentioned it to me with that terminology, and I was like, okay. Then I tried it out, and I was like, wow, this is crap. I sailed here. The Eye of the Dragon. What do we got? What do we got? Where's the... Up, beep, boop. Open palm only? Yeah, no, this really is. I thought I was kidding, but obviously I wasn't. Yeah, this really is the Jedi Master robes of the Star Force. There we go. Hi, Ice Tray. I was thinking about both Ice Tray and Saldier last night, because I was trying to set up all the frickin' lines and the chapters and making sure everything's up to date. Which, as of this moment in time, we are once again up to date with things on the theater. So, woo. Actually, we're so up to date. So check this out. Quick story for the three of you who care in chat. So I was working on the theater last night, obviously, and my friend Gary popped on. He's like, "Hey, what's going on?" I was like, "Hey, what's up?" And he's like, "What are you up to?" And he was just idly asking. And I basically said, "You don't actually want a real answer, do you?" And he's like, "No, what are you up to?" And I was like, "Well..." And I told him about the theater. Now, he, of course, knows about the theater because he's been my friend since the 90s. And so, obviously, he's aware of how much time and effort I've put into it. But what he's also aware of is the fact that I'm finally getting somewhere with it because, you know, I basically put it down for a few months there while I was working on the show. So, hearing that I was at the point where I was getting real progress done, he was like, "Dude, awesome. You know, I'm really happy for you." And one thing led to another, and he's voicing several characters now. I just recorded his Discord, mic straight. And it's actually funny, because I wish I had the power to do that kind of a thing with you guys. Like, I've said this before. If I had, if I won the lottery, I would actually continue the theater series, if for no other reason than the fact that I actually really enjoy doing it. And I could afford to, for example, pay for one of you to fly out to me to an actual studio, an actual sound booth studio, where I could give you direction one-to-one. Which is what I was doing with him last night. Like, he could say a line, and I could say, "Well, hang on. Why don't you do a little more this way?" And I could tell him, literally, audibly, be like, "This is kind of where I want that to go." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And it was probably the first time I've been able to do one-to-one directing like that for the theater. It was fun. Let's see, he's voicing one of the dwarves in Chapter 7, I think. And the rich jackass in Chapter something. 9, I don't know, 4, somewhere along the line. And, of course, he is voicing Gilgamesh. Bonk, bonk. Well, no, see, it won't really work that way, Cord. That's part of the problem. But that's okay. I accept that I am powerless and worthless. Yeah, Fire Horse was basically the ranged one. It's like fireball, 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 and not super useful in this game.
I know you. You were servants of the Water Dragon, who once ruled Dirge. But your mistress has no power here now. Dirge belongs to the master I serve. His strength grows. He feeds on the taint of this place, and when he is ready, he will unleash us on the mortal world.
Yeah, so, who's your master?
He has no name. He is a being from neither the mortal world nor the spirit realm. He is darkness. He is suffering. He is sorrow and despair. He is evil incarnate.
I'm trying so hard not to make a joke here.
I do not fear you, for the power of my master flows through me. I enforce his will, for all must bow down to him in time. The earth, the heavens, the living and the dead, all grovel before my master when he unleashes himself from Dirge. But do not fear, you will be spared this fate, for I will rend your spirit into nothingness.
You notice they're animating the drool, which is actually pretty impressive for the time that this game came out. To have something like that. Hi! Anyways, I didn't take those points to Koida, because those would waste chi that I could spend beating the crap out of people. Anyway, so he's dead. As a reminder, I'm not using cheats. Blah, blah, blah. I'm super evil. Who are you, super evil? I am darkness. I am all that is unholy. All that you fear and loathe. Grandma?
In all my long years of study and all my life, I have never heard of a being of such malevolent evil as this. I knew spirits and demons would overrun Dirge after the Emperor defiled it. But the corruption is far greater than I ever feared. And worse is yet to come. The temple itself is the center of Dirge's corruption. The taint is at its strongest there. I shudder to think what unknown evil might await us inside.
So let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
The Water Dragon has faith in you, and I see you have faith in yourself. I must believe such faith is justified. In any case, we have found the seed. We should return to the fountain by the courtyard gates. Restore it with the seal you took from the demon, and the gates to the temple courtyard should open.
Ah, we're done. Okay. Now to go kill this guy. Wait, first. Okay. Now to go kill this guy. We got this. Wee. Why is everything trapped? I could see that too, sounded like, come on. We should get... Hey, wait, I'm not done talking. Then talk and walk. Let's go. Apparently it's not this way. Got it. That's a good point. We don't need to breathe at this point. Or, sorry, to say that more clearly, you think that's air you're breathing? So I will admit, obviously this isn't... It's debatable whether or not this is the Starforge equivalent. I usually think of it as such. And if we are to think of it as such, then this is better than the Starforge in basically every way. Because the Starforge is, well, crap, if I'm being honest. It's one of the worst sections of KOTOR. And we'll probably get a negative whenever we review that. Yeah, this level is a lot better. It's not... I don't think this level deserves a positive in its own right, but it's definitely not a negative. Spirit droids! Yes, soon I will show them the power of my endless droid army. Which, if you're paying attention, is literally the Emperor's plan. Was.
The gates to the temple courtyard have opened.
Do you ever shut up?
You speak as if restoring Dirge was some minor task. Remember, when Dirge fell, the very essence of the water dragon was corrupted.
Where's my Switch?
The power
You know what, I'll just play a game on my phone.
is divine.
Get out of here.
Any mortal touched by it would be instantly consumed. However, the Emperor found a way to corrupt the divine power. The immortal purity of the water dragon was befouled by human blood spilled in her fountains. Her power was tainted, allowing the Emperor, immortal, to seize it as his own. For a mortal, blood is life.
What?
Sacrifice of blood can have great power, even over the gods. But now is not the time for this discussion. The gates are open now. We can make our way through the temple courtyard to the temple itself. Inside the temple, you can complete the restoration of Dirge.
Right, we're done. We're done. Right, yeah, okay. Hey, yeah, no, I'm ready. I'm ready. Totally gonna complete the Dirge Rest to Gobberglue. I was paying attention, I swear. I'm just poking fun. I stand by what I said. This section works a bit better for me than... Well, actually, hang on. Now that I think about it. So we have the start... Well, okay. We have Hell in Baldur's Gate 2, which I never actually cared for. Then we have... like, the last cave in Neverwinter Nights, Vanilla, which was crap. But then we have Waterdeep in Neverwinter Nights Hordes of the Underdark, which is actually pretty decent. Then we switch over to KOTOR, which had the Starforge, which was crap. Then we have this game, which basically has this, which it's alright, you know, it's middling. Then we have Denerim. Actually, no, we have Mass Effect first. So then we have the Return to the Citadel. I don't remember that being particularly good or bad. I wasn't counting that one because that wasn't BioWare Dakota, but fair. That was a drag. Even when we were cheating our brains out for the lore run, it was still like, come on, let's go. If we were counting Beator, Beator was awesome. I liked Beator. Either way, I think the run through Ilium was okay, and the Citadel was fine. I actually like Denerim. Denerim is probably my favorite of the list I've made so far in Dragon Age Origins. Then Dragon Age 2 was probably the worst of the ones we've talked about so far, but that's because everything about the last act of Dragon Age 2 was just awful, in my opinion. Then Mass Effect 2 had the Suicide Mission, which honestly is probably even better than Denerim, because the Suicide Mission is amazing. Then Mass Effect 3 had the Return to Earth, which was awful. Inquisition had... like that weird kind of pseudo dungeon puzzle thing, which I barely remember, so I'll just call that a wash. And I think that's everything, unless we count Anthem, which we're not. So yeah, I'd say Suicide Mission, Denerim are the two best of. Suicide Mission, Denerim, and Beator are probably the best of the various sections, in my opinion. I will agree the final boss of 2, that is to say Mass Effect 2, is boring at best. But then again, if we're thinking about if we're to deconstruct this in a different era and look specifically at final bosses, we've got Jonolith Irenicus, which actually was a really cool final boss. Then we've got Morag. I had to think about that because she's so unmemorable, which is just dumb, and also kind of I mean, they kind of had a decent mechanic for it with the invulnerability to damage types things, and so I'll give her a medium. I'll give her a medium. Snake Lady, eh. And then we have Mephistopheles. He was actually pretty cool. Then we move forward to KOTOR, which was Malik, which was not a good final boss fight. It was another Jedi fight, except he has health packs. That's it. If we skip forward to this game, well, we'll talk about that when we get. Let's not talk about that just yet. Then we move forward to Dragon Age Origins. I have to admit, I did like the Archdemon fight. That was actually pretty good. And then Mass Effect 1 had Saren, which actually was pretty good too. It wasn't great, but I'd at least call that a medium. Mass Effect 2 had the boring fight I already mentioned. Mass Effect 3 doesn't have a last boss. No, really, think about it. It doesn't. The closest thing would be the smaller Reaper that you fight during the siege mission. So Mass Effect 3 doesn't even qualify for this. God, that's sad. Every game we've mentioned has a last boss except Mass Effect 3. And what am I missing? Inquisition. I didn't like the Inquisition last boss all that much. So that leaves Dragon Age Origins, and... No, I don't mean Marauder Shields. Marauders... Memes aside, there is no final boss to Mass Effect 3. Oh yeah, I forgot Dragon Age 2, which is Meredith. Actually, the Meredith fight was okay, in my opinion. Now, the Orsino fight was awful. So that's not... So even though we've got kind of a decent mix of quality when it comes to finales and Last Dungeons, not a lot of good final bosses in the BioWare catalog, are there? Of course, that's all just my opinion. A lore opinion. Thanks for watching. I would probably put the Archdemon as my favorite of those bosses that I just listed. Stop blocking. But, well, there is one boss I didn't mention, and I did that on purpose. Whoops. Oh yeah! I did the oh yeah attack one more time there. I'm not even sure we could get a full picture of the Jade Golem sufficiently far back as to get my, like, it would be like that right there. You'd have to get my face in the black section there. So someone take a screenshot of that snippet right there and send it to Huthor. Don't actually do that. Oh no, Renegade is definitely a better interpretation of the Closed Fist in my opinion. It's one of the reasons why I say this game in many ways was a prototype for Mass Effect 1. Ignoring the fact that it was. There's also the fact that a lot of the ideas which were posited in this game were continued. In Mass Effect. I have to admit I am more fond of Renegade in 2 than I am in 1, though. And in 3... Well, 3's a mixed bag no matter what you do, so...
The second fountain is restored, and for this I thank you. But from this point on, Abbot Song cannot travel with you. He must lead his fellows from their cursed existence.
Great Mistress, I have tried to lead them, to free them, but they will not listen to me. They cannot even see me. Let me continue on and redeem myself for this failure.
You suffered doubt in defeat, but you are strengthened by the actions of this spirit monk. Go. Lead your fellows to victory and rest. Your path does not lie in the temple.
Yes, Great Mistress, it is all so clear now. I will do as you say, and the spirit monks shall avenge the great slaughter of 20 years ago.
You know, I could have used his help.
Abbot Song has done all he can for us. For too long he has been apart from his brethren. Now he can finally join them, though their ultimate victory will be up to you. A great evil awaits, and only you have the power to defeat it. Destroy the creature corrupting my temple. Do this, and the restoration of Dirge will be complete. With Dirge restored, a great portion of my power will return. I will be able to grant rest to my loyal servants, and help you back to the land of the living. But beware. The true corruption of Dirge rests in the temple, where Emperor Sun Hai struck me down. That desecration drew terrible things to Dirge, beings not part of the natural order. An abomination has gorged itself for 2 decades on the pain and suffering released with my murder. 20 years growing strong, feasting on the death of a god.
Tastes like carrots.
All creatures, all spirits, even the gods, have their place. But this nameless thing is not truly part of our existence. It is a manifestation of all that is wrong in our world. Sun Hai disrupted the natural order, and unknowingly gave birth to a mindless evil driven only by instinct and hunger. It feeds and it grows, and now you must destroy it.
Okay. If it bleeds, I can kill it.
I cannot aid you in this battle. The very taint that feeds your enemy keeps me from entering. Destroy it. Cleanse my temple, and I will speak with you inside.
And I was getting Neverwinter Nights 1 vibes from this area. Like from the whole, let's go, follow me, blah, 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 you know.
You cannot join this battle. Your destiny lies in the temple at the top of the stairs.
Okay, jeez. Yeah, that, Dakota. Pushy, God. Just trying to help. An RPG where you stay the everyman the whole game? Yeah, Dragon Age 2. Might as well. And now to fight the most evil thing in all of Evil Land. Us! And also us? And us. But none of them have my power! The power of the Golem! Did I mention this makes me immune to magic, which is what 2 of them are using? Granted, I'm also weak to the thing the 3rd one's using, but it doesn't seem to be availing him all that much. What, the one by Lee, Adam? No. So anywho, can I have my camera back? There we go. Well, feasting time.
The taint is destroyed. My temple is cleansed. Dirge is restored. After 20 years, my spirit may once more return to my temple. I can act now, but not for long. Sun Li will soon command all of my power. To complete my restoration, you must return to the mortal world. Find my body and destroy it.
I'm sorry, you want me to destroy your body?
Sun Hai devoured my heart, but he needed time to siphon my power. He kept my body from dying, trapped between life and death, held like a trophy in his imperial palace. That was how he ended the drought. You must find my body and kill it, so that when you defeat your former master, my power is free to dissipate. Until then, I cannot be reborn.
Okay, what about Li?
Be prepared. Sun Li will not fall as easily as his brother. The Emperor had to proceed slowly. Sun Li has used the amulet to take much more power far more quickly. You must destroy my body in the palace to weaken him, but there is more you can do. I see within you the knowledge of his child. If it lives, Li's rage can be proven false.
Okay. I don't really think he cares. I mean... Also, I can't believe we don't know this yet.
See through my eyes and shape what you already know. One among you was born to the light of a false morning sun. Already she senses it was the burning of Dirge. But Dirge is not known to the Empire. It is a secret place, and its death was only visible from one height, one vantage, the palace of the family's son.
So yeah, it's frickin' Dawnstar.
And then spirited away from the tale your lost friend told. Born while the brothers attacked this place, killed after Li was cast out. He never knew her. Sun Li does not look with the eyes of a father. His gaze does not seek life. She was appraised as a tool, just as you were, but her potential did not hold his interest. The loss of his family hides his ambition, perhaps even from himself. It may benefit you to reveal this, but my body must also die.
No, Blackflower. What are you talking about? Unless you mean the evil thing.
I have called your allies to Dirge. Not the spirit realm where we are now, but to the Dirge that exists in the mortal world. You will meet them there when you are restored. The maddened spirits that swarm this realm hunger for passage anywhere. I will not be able to stop them following you, but there is no other way. Remember, find my body in the palace and destroy it, or you will not be able to defeat Sun Li. Enter the portal. I return to you the life that was so wrongly taken.
Well, okay. That's a weird portal thingy, but okay, sure. I'm with it, I'm with it. Ah, dang it, Cord. Why are they all arguing?
Calm down. We managed to lose them, but we'll have to stay out of sight for a while.
But what can we do now? The last hope for the Empire died in the palace.
I don't know. We'll think of something. For now, we have to make sure we survive.
All is not lost. Hear me.
We must go to Dirge.
What? Why?
We must go to Dirge, quickly. There's no time to explain.
Considering how long of a trip that is, I imagine there's actually a lot of time to explain. Ah, I didn't actually know about that, Blackwell. Huel. There's no time, Zalok. I'd explain, but I can't. It's impossible.
You live, but the portal was not sealed quickly enough. Defeat the maddened creatures that have followed you, or your life will once again be undone.
Okay. Well, alright. No, not that. Where's the other? Check out the other guy. There we go. Yeah, considering we know from personal experience we can interact with stuff just fine when we're still spirits. I mean, why do we need a body? Oh yeah, I can just use Mirabelle. I've actually never heard that interpretation, It's an interesting idea, though. That something basically provoked all of this into motion. Something that's the enemy of Jade Empire 2! The game that'll come out on mobile! Boo, boo. Well, you have phones, don't you? How many of these do I have to kill? Guess we're literally killing demons, demons, as they come out of a portal. And I'm out of focus. Oh, this is going to get a lot more boring now. Oh, that's the ancient one. Oh, okay, we're okay.
Seek your fellows. They know about your awakening and are on their way to the shelter of Dirge. Hurry. Others will find you soon enough.
I think I accidentally closed the portal there. So oh, did I get it? I don't know if I got it. Because I was fighting them a little too close to the portal there. That's my bad. Like, I'm as maxed out as I want to be, really, so, yep, we're good. Uh-oh, it's decaying bodies. It's okay, I got the replenishment of the mind from the decaying bodies. Don't question it. Come on. Or don't. That's cool too. You know what, fine. I don't even care about your bones. Stupid bones. It could be Zaldir. Like, so it's, over in Europe, they were like, "Ha-ha! We have uncovered immortality." And, yeah, the drow was the reaction to that. Hello, Lycon. Jade Empire really hits the, you know, there is a way things should be button a lot. In fact, in some of the endings, you basically take over. And as a direct consequence of that, several of the endings, which I would consider to be fairly positive, are portrayed as if they are, you know, evil endings. Ah, for God's sakes, really, dude? Really? Well, I just got a full refill, so you are screwed! All of a sudden, I sense something. A presence I have not felt since... It's okay, Humanization. The answer is Undertale. Hey, Mr. Red. Chapter 6, the last chapter. I think. Like, we should be not very far from the end of the game at this point, I'm pretty sure. Hang on. Okay. Yes, Lycon. It is only you. Welcome to the endless abyss. Anyways, one of the core questions that, to my knowledge, is never actually answered is, how far does the life stream extend? I've always run under the general assumption that it's actually... What? Humanization? Hang on, I'm very confused by your question. Do you mind explaining your question? I would say Jade Empire is definitely worth a playthrough, yes. See, I can't even get his face in the screen. Yeah, this game, I've said this like 15 times this stream. This game is the in-betweeny of Mass Effect 1 and KOTOR 1. Anyway, so yeah, getting back to my point, the question is never really answered as to whether or not the afterlife is just within the Jade Empire, or if it's the entire planet. Like, it's entirely feasible that Mr. Red is insane and evil, and we all know that. But it's also possible that it's actually just restricted, right? Now, both are actually fairly possible depending on how exactly I want to go with this. And this is yet another one of those reasons why I tend to lament this game, despite how much I enjoy it. The world building, while good, is, in a literal sense, the tip of the iceberg. Or, as I like to say, you know, peeping through a window. We see the inferences of a larger world, but they don't really develop it at all. Thank you very, very much, Mr. Red. Much appreciate the sub as always, sir. And I have put that towards head on, or head in, or heat in, or I actually have no idea how that's supposed to be pronounced, but whatever. Hey, guys.
You're here, alive. We thought you were dead.
Wow.
And then I had visions of the strangest things.
Dawnstar guided us to this place, but I expected a ghost, not flesh and blood.
Death. I came back for you, Dawns. I came back for you. Okay. Okay, gotcha, Humanization. So the question you're asking is, am I still doing the FF9 theater? But the question you asked me was, what is the next theater I am doing? To which the answer is Undertale. But we are currently doing the FF9 theater. In fact, we are basically in what I would consider the final stages of production for the FF9 theater. Oh, we still have a lot of work to be done, don't mistake me, but you know, we have a fairly definitive method and everything, and people are starting to, you know, give lines and blah, 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 blah. So yeah, no, we are actively working on the FF9 theater. What's FF9 theater? Really? Okay. The formal term for it is a fan dub, which I don't like that term, but it is the official term, so we'll stick with it. We are sitting down and doing voice acting for a video game that does not have it. AKA, we're going ahead and recording all the lines of the game and trying to, you know, do a voice-acted version of the events of Final Fantasy IX as if it was a movie rather than a game, effectively. As of this point in time, all of the raw footage is recorded, as well as edited, as well as directed, and we are well on our way to getting voice acting done. The first 3 chapters are actually fairly well done, and then up to chapter about 7 is about half done, and then we have very little for chapter 8 through 13. But that's where we're at with that. Death cannot stop one as powerful as I.
Normally, I would would warn that such arrogance would bring the wrath of the heavens. But you appear to have a far more intimate understanding of them than I do.
Actually, yes, Adam. Yeah. So, I learned much about the choices I will have.
Few things are more dangerous than the interest of the heavens.
Damn right.
Pardon the intrusion, but might I add the entire army of the Emperor to that list? Or is that too small a thing for your attention?
It kinda is.
Your former master, my uncle, has taken the Jade Empire as his own. Emperor Sun Li has set the whole of his forces against us, and we are trapped here in Dirge.
How Shikor? By the way, we still need voice actors humanization. Why would he send the entire army against us?
After you defeated my father, and Li struck you down, he claimed both your amulet and the heart of the water dragon and announced that his rule had begun. The Lotus Assassins were his almost immediately. Your amulet must have allowed him to quickly do what it took my father years to accomplish.
Yeah, that was the plan.
We had no choice but to flee. In the days after, the new Emperor did not seem overly concerned with capturing us, and we did not know where to go.
He didn't consider us a threat. We had no way of fighting him. Just as with Sun Hai, only a spirit monk can face him with hope of success.
That's why we came here. Dawnstar's vision seemed impossible, but any hope was better than none.
Unfortunately, Emperor Sun Li sensed your stirrings in the spirit realm as well, and now we are trapped.
Well, what you do, humanization, is you say, "Hey, Bragwin, can I get an invite to Discord?" And Bragwin's like, "Sure." And then you go down to the current status channel of the theater category, and you click the link there. There's only one link. And that should be fairly self-apparent as to what we still need. There are many roles we still need characters for. So, I still need plenty of people to do plenty of NPCs.
You do not face Emperor Sun Li. You face the whole of the Imperial Army. All of it. Not lone assassins or a single brigade, but the whole of the army, golems and all.
Okay.
Only one path is passable by foot, and that is the route they are coming up. We cannot sneak past such a horde.
Dude, I got this.
My marvelous dragonfly will not survive the passage either. The winds force a certain path, and the army's flyers are guarding it well.
Okay.
But that is our luck, as well as our sorrow. Their inferior flyers can barely stay aloft in such currents. They will not overrun us from the air, at least not in numbers.
This is not the glorious task that was set before me. This is pathetic. Seriously, we got this.
Let us hope that your courage is not unfounded. We have until tomorrow to plan before the bulk of the force will be upon us.
Well, let's go.
We will start securing the temple. The great gates of this place will grant us some valuable time. At least they will not take us by surprise.
Fortifications? Perhaps I will remove some of the ordnance from the marvelous dragonfly. Properly applied, it may prove useful tomorrow. Come, Whirlwind, I need your muscle.
That's the Black Whirlwind. And as long as it makes the coming fight more interesting, I'll lift whatever you want.
That is all we can do to save ourselves today. But there was more that you learned in the spirit realm, wasn't there? I can tell.
Was there? Oh yeah, right. You're Master Lee's daughter. Sorry, I forgot that's a plot twist.
I saw hope in my vision that led us to you, but there was also something I didn't want to believe. I didn't tell the others. Can it be true?
Yep. Super true.
Mr. Lee's daughter?
Uh-huh. Yep.
What? Laughable. I see why you didn't tell us. That is ridiculous.
Uh-huh.
It is no more outlandish than half the things I have seen in your company. She is of the right age.
Who are you again?
Lots of children are born every day. I was born at that time. If you don't count this latest rebirth, so is our friend here.
but I was named for the fires of Dirge. Hui said as much, and it seems obvious now. The red glow opposite the morning sun was the temple burning.
So what if it was? It could have been visible across the Empire.
Yeah, no, the water dragon said no.
But that's not... That would make her...
Your cousin, yeah.
A cousin? A princess? A rival?
You be quiet. This is not amusing.
Perhaps this will restore Master Li's good side, 'cause I'm an idiot.
You still seek to redeem your master even after what he did to you? Clearly you are beyond reason. Fine, believe what you wish.
Does anyone care how I feel about this?
No.
I am unsure what this really means, but we must tell Master Li and try to appeal to his sense of decency. This could lift so much pain from his heart.
You are both crazy. I'll go along with it if it helps us in the end, but I'll need more proof to believe it, and I expect Sun Li will too.
We have to survive the coming attack before anyone is told anything. We've done all we can for now. Tomorrow we'll decide our fates.
We should all get some rest. But if I could have a word with you when the others have gone, I need to speak with you.
Just look for Paper Mario Theater, Adam. Or actually, excuse me, Paper Mario Lore Walker Theater. That should find it fairly quickly. Do note that the first 2 episodes suck, and the 3rd episode kinda sucks. And then it starts getting better. After that. Go and save y'all.
I was wondering when we'd find time to be alone. Everyone has been hovering about you since you got back. I have been afraid to talk to you. I worried that you might have changed, that you might have forgotten me.
I'm sorry, who are you?
Do you remember the hearts you left behind? I'm not the only one waiting for an answer.
I'm sorry, what?
Your death left us shaken. It seemed like an eternity before Dawnstar had that vision of the water dragon, before we knew you might return. We consoled each other. Dawnstar and I started talking, got to know each other better. We learned a few things about you, about how we felt about you. If you had to make a choice between me and her, would you? Could you? Who would it be?
So, funny fact. If you choose here, the romance is terminated. All romances are terminated. And you end the game without a romance. Something about that amuses me tremendously.
Ah, it's just like we thought. Poor, poor, lovable man caught by feelings he can't stop. I never imagined that I'd love someone like you.
You don't.
And neither did I.
Where did you come from? Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and admit that I don't remember this cutscene.
You have done well to restore the Fountains of Dirge, but they cannot shield you fully. Not with the power I now control. This is nothing more than a dream, my pupil. I can do nothing here, but I can influence things. Do you remember your fellow students?
Not really, if I'm being completely honest. Well, I was going to say something, but then this cutscene kind of took over, so we'll just kind of chill for a minute.
They certainly remember you. They remember how you left them to die.
This is it? This is what you got?
They died so there would be nothing holding you back. Their deaths ensured that you were properly motivated. Without you, they would still be alive.
1,000 cuts. The school burned because of you.
That is not true. I was just joking. But,
It wasn't you.
I mean, you're right.
Now I see. It wasn't your fault.
It was all my fault.
Impressive. But this was only a dream. You will not be so fortunate tomorrow.
Okay, I'll be honest. That might be a little difficult. That might be an issue.
You're awake! It sounds like the army is on the move. They're on their way up the mountain. Sky left a few hours ago. He said he was going to see how far up the mountain they had come. We haven't heard from him since, and I'm worried.
Look, he's back!
Well, that's convenient for my nerves.
Sorry for being late.
It's kind of cold, and, you know... Oh, hey, we could finally pause. Okay, so... I have a question for you guys, those of you who are familiar with this game or have played it before. Who's your favorite party member? And why, if applicable? I'd rather you explain, but you don't have to. Mine is Kang, by the way. Black Whirlwind, Adam. Now, what's funny is I expected I would be in the minority here. However, I am seeing several responses that kind of collate with my own feelings on the matter. Let me explain by parallel a little bit. I tend to enjoy BioWare companions. Back when they actually were BioWare companions. And usually BioWare companions are some of the hallmarks of a BioWare game for me, right? You know, I could speak at length about how awesome most of the party members are in Dragon Age or Mass Effect, or even going back to the Neverwinter Nights games, at least the later ones. But this game, very few of the party members really stick out for me in general. They're not bad. This isn't a situation where I would give the game a negative. But normally, and this is something I've been kind of sitting and watching for the entire game, normally I would give positives, plural, to a BioWare game for the companions. Whereas this time I've only given the one, and it's still an aggregate for a combination of the accountant and Kang, both of whom are not normal party members in the traditional sense of the word. And it's because so few of them really, well, as Nerozaz says, it feels that they're not quite finished. Like, there's obviously some layers to the characters there, but they don't really do much with them. Yeah, they're just, it's one of the weaker points of the story, which is strange, at least in my opinion. Again, even going back to like the Baldur's Gate series, usually the companions tend to be fairly memorable in a good way. They've always had their issues. Viconia, excuse me. But I wanted to comment on that because this is why I did the romance arc. Part of the reason I went ahead and did, actually pretty much all of the reason I went ahead and did the romance arc is because one of the reasons I like Bastila as a character is because of the way her arc goes if you romance her. And so I was like, okay, well, by memory, I don't remember Fox or Dawnstar as being particularly interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and do the romance path with both of them and see if that actually changes my opinion. It did not. So I was just kind of like, okay. I mean, really? So again, I don't think the game deserves a negative for this, but this is a definitive absence of a positive scenario. And that's a damn shame, in my opinion, because I think there's some real good potential with most of the party members. To use an example, and Bragwin actually brought this up, I think, yesterday. She mentioned how the princess, Fox, I think, and I'm actually having trouble remembering her name, never moved. Like, she just kept being the snobby princess. She never moved forward from that personality, right? There was no arc. There was no anything there. It was just, yep. And then also, hey! Anyways, obviously we do have another companion to talk about. I think that's coming up next. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go with yes, that is actually coming up. But yeah, whatever. I just wanted to comment on that because A, that's why I was doing, the real reason I was doing the romance this whole time. And B, that's been something I've had in the back of my mind this entire playthrough. And I was curious of your guys' thoughts because, as always, I like to, feedback. Yeah, you know what? To use a counterpart here, this is actually a good example. Even though it's a much more modern game, Dragon Age 2 actually makes several of its companions feel a lot more relevant. Especially since most of them actually have character arcs. Not just with you, but with each other. And Bragwin's example is probably one of my favorite. Isabella and Aveline actually work really well together and bounce off of each other in just the right way. And are literally friends by the end of the game, assuming you do things in a certain way. And yeah, Garrus over in Mass Effect 1 and 2, and arguably 3, one of my favorite quotes from Garrus is from Mass Effect 3, the cold calculus thing. He had an arc there. Tali and what she had to go through. Think about Tali at the beginning of Mass Effect 1. Just to use that. Like, I know I'm using more modern games as an example, but because we could also point out how, for example, Erebeth wasn't exactly all that well done. But, I'm trying to think. See, like in Baldur's Gate 2, obviously we have Minsk, which is a fairly popular character for good reason. And as Baron says, this is not just BioWare thing. I just kind of compare this to the BioWare standard. Damn it, Tazara, what the hell are you doing, man? Well, I can't do that, Tazara. But thank you very, very, very much, sir. And hey, I'm feeling better enough to actually bow today. Oh, back still giving me issues, but at least I'm no longer like today. So I'm doing a little better. You do know the question, Tazara, so I demand an answer. Anyways, sorry, I'm sorry for going off on the rails here a little bit. Dakota is right. We do have one more companion to talk about. But I wanted to stop and talk about this here because any RPG with significant companion characters, in my opinion, should spend a huge amount of time and effort on developing those companions. And games usually are a mixed bag on that one. Some of you may actually remember that I commented on this way back in one of my earliest videos. I said, one of the things that stood out for Mass Effect 2 and Dragon Age Origins for me was I didn't dislike any of the companions. And I mentioned, this was, of course, years ago, like 9 years ago, but I mentioned that was rare. Usually it's a mixed bag. Even my favorite game of all time, Final Fantasy VI, has Umaro, Gogo, Mog, right? I mean, Mog's a decent character, but at the same time, he's also not a character, right? There's no development. Mog has like 2 side quests, which are very brief. He's undeveloped. Now, that brings me to Jade Empire. Imagine if most of the characters are basically Mog, but with more dialogue, and that's basically where we're at. With a couple of exceptions, I do like Kang. I really do like Kang. And I do also enjoy, God, I can't think of his name, Phoebe or whatever, the accountant. Even though he only had like his one scene, it was a very memorable scene. Hello, Goofy Movie. I remember the Goofy Movie. God, that was a while ago. What is up? Welcome to my stream. As I like to say to everyone who pokes their heads in here, don't be a stranger. If you have any thoughts, comments, questions, that's kind of how this works. We interact, talk, chat, and I love talking with people. So feel free to share. But yeah, like, I don't know. I do feel even Fallout 4 had memorable NPCs. You know what? I agree. One of the better parts of Fallout 4 was the companion, for me, was the companions and their quests. I can't remember her name, but the woman who had the drug issue, right? Like, her quest arc was really good, and her character was very well done. Right? I mean, and yeah, New Vegas. Ooh, Kate. Thank you, Kate. And yeah, Nick. I like Nick. I even like the reporter lady, as shown off during the original stream. And the Florence Nightingale lady, she was a little underdeveloped, but she was still good for what she was there. Yeah, so this just kind of helps to make my point. Even Fallout 4, which is Fallout 4, still understood the value and strength of good companion characters. So now, Nerozaz asks a very valid question. Do I like Jade Empire more or less after playing it again? More, in all honesty. Having a chance to really... I think part of it is because of the version I'm playing, but having a chance to actually, dig into this and do more of the side quests has elevated this game in my mind. However, it has also reinforced some of its major flaws, which is the big thing we're talking about right now. I actually had a theory, which I was going to posit here, that I then disagreed with myself on. You know how Jade Empire is the lesser-known BioWare RPG? The theory I was going to posit was that it's because of the unmemorable companions. Because it's so easy to associate Mass Effect with Garrus and Tali and Rex and Liara, and Dragon Age with Morrigan and Alistair and Varric and blah blah blah. But at the same time, I decided to do a little bit of...
Follow me. They all do.
I decided to do a little bit of more research on the matter. And no, I think it's just real-life coincidence and circumstances that made Jade Empire not really work. Because it was an Xbox exclusive for 2 years. Came out before Oblivion, but then Oblivion came out and pretty much destroyed the WRPG market. And by the time this actually finally hit the PC, we already knew Dragon Age was coming and Mass Effect was already out. So, basically it missed the mark. I actually firmly think that if in 2005 this game had come out on PC, it would be far more known. It would have hit a larger market. Don't mistake me, I'm not saying we shouldn't have console RPGs. That's absolutely not what I'm saying, but I do think the exclusivity hurt it. Opinion. Thank you very much, Shikor. Much obliged, as ever. Thank you very much. And I will put that towards a future run of DAO. A review I'm actually quite looking forward to, because by memory, that one's towards the top of my list, so we'll see how that one lines up going back through it. Okay, so... I think even Dragon Age 2 had decent companions, although I know there's a lot of variance on that one. For example, some people absolutely hate Fenris. I actually like Fenris as a character. I just think he's got some serious issues. But of course he does. He's a former slave who had lyrium tattoos burned into his skin. I mean, God's sakes, right? But I have heard people who absolutely hate... I've heard people who think of Fenris as a get-off-their-screen character. And they've explained why, and it's like, yeah, okay, I can see why you'd think that. For me, Anders is a get-off-my-screen character. He's not just a character I don't like. I actively don't want him in that game. But I do like Meryl. I do like Aveline. I do like Isabella. I love Varric. Varric's... Oh, dude. Varric is amazing. You kidding me? What's funny, actually, I'm curious, does anybody not like Varric as a character? Varric? I can never remember how to pronounce it. I'm actually curious, because I've heard people disliking everyone I just mentioned as liking, but I've never heard anyone disliking, you know, the dude. The man. He's so amazing, they brought him back for a second game. He isn't your typical dwarf, that's very true. I feel like he was very carefully designed to be likable, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's nice to see that instead of a character who is very carefully designed to be unlikable, like Udina. Sylvando is pretty amazing. But do you like him, Sylder? Is he a net positive character for you? Okay, because that's what I'm asking. Really, Breakwood? Okay, I gotta say that one out loud. There's a fan theory that Varric was actually the Maker coming down to help straighten out the mess he caused. Okay, look. Everything's a mess. Just give me a second. Let me get Bianca out here. Conk! So, what's an example of an unlikable character used well? Now, that's, of course, going to depend on the opinion of the individual. But Rendon Howe is my automatic answer to that. He is designed to be unlikable, but he's Rendon Howe. I do firmly believe a lot of what salvages him is Tim Curry. I've said this before, and I've said this again. An otherwise disinteresting or even bad character can be salvaged by an actor, by a voice actor. And the reverse is true. An interesting character can be ruined by a bad voice actor. So, yeah, I think Rendon Howe is a good, unlikable character.
Your dedication will be rewarded.
A bad character who's not a definite bad guy? Yes, but I can't think of his name. He's a Jedi Master in KOTOR and KOTOR 2. I can't think of his name. I spit on his grave every day, and I can't think of his name. Help me out, someone. Vrook! Vrook is a good example of a bad character who's not a definite bad guy. Vrook is also designed to be unlikable, by the way. To use another example of that archetype. Vrook, in many ways, is, and I mean this sincerely, Vrook, in many ways, is the prototype Udina. I would say they probably did a better job with Vrook than Udina, but at the same time, he just slug him. Thank you very much, Goofy Movie, for the donation. Much appreciated. Thank you. And I will put that towards Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. 1 or 2? I'm assuming 1, because you didn't specify a number. 1. You got it. Yeah, Udina for me was pretty much a get-off-my-screen character. He wasn't as bad as some get-off-my-screen characters, but he was a get-off-my-screen character for me. He was just, go away. I was at least willing to tolerate his existence until 3. But we're getting way off topic. Let's go ahead and finish the game we're playing, shall we? Hey, what's going on?
I went down the mountain to scout them out. I figured I could get a good estimate of how many were coming and get back here. It didn't work out like I planned.
Who are you again?
There are Lotus assassins by the score, and golems too. You didn't bury them all. They have a lot more. Imperial Army flyers in the distance, too. They'll be here soon.
Bad, bad, very bad. What are we going to do? They'll be across the main bridge in no time.
Like, as an aside, I'm sorry, to continue the topic that we kind of started, what's his face, dude? I can't think of his name. The Bun Master should be an interesting character to me, but he isn't. Because the problem is he is incredibly one note. And that's the problem. He starts off in like this square of his story, of his character, and he never budges from it. And that's part of the problem for me, is he's just... Henpecked, that's his name. He gets developed in Jade Empire 2. The quest for more money. We'll meet them head on. We've got this.
We won't have much choice about that if we don't deal with the bridge. The golems are huge. Giants. Siege golems.
Siege golems? Oh, I've heard of those. 30 feet tall and can throw an ox. Well, pretty darn far. I didn't have time to measure. Oh, they crush walls, too. It would be bad if they reached us. The casks I took off the dragonfly would make short work of the bridge, though. A little fire, and whoosh! Earth meets sky.
No, I do not, Loner.
You will need someone to keep any advanced Lotus assassins away from you. I will accompany you.
No, it's too dangerous for just one person. I'll go as well.
Sure. Why are these...
Of course. Dawnstar, a chance to prove your worth to me. You too, Kang.
Yes, Princess.
But what about the rest of us? Why just send them? Why are we sitting here holding our... Oh, I get it. They're coming here too, aren't they?
Well, who? The Lotus assassins? But they'd have to fly to get past the wall, and the winds are too strong.
Hundreds may die in crashes, but a few will get through. Do you really think Death's Hand minds such losses?
I mean... Yeah, we'll spread out.
My wounds will make me a burden if I stay at your side. I will keep guard over the temple itself. Groups landing there should be small enough for me to handle. Kang, old friend. I'd like to borrow a few of your marvelously explosive casks. I have something special in mind for any assassins who breach our lines.
What? Yes, whatever you want. I have enough on my mind. During the night, I made some, reinforcements to the marvelous dragonfly. I don't sleep much, you see, ever. Anyway, I doubt we could escape, but we can make a dent.
A short run in the flyer to take the brunt of their advance. It might be a worthwhile mission, or it might be suicide.
Well, what isn't these days? It's not necessary. I leave the decision to our illustrious leader.
Sure. Real quick, to answer Saldy before I get caught in another series of cutscenes, I would rather a character not develop than have stupid developments, personally. Both are bad, obviously.
Yes, that's the way! I knew you'd be up for it. Off we go. Everyone be ready for our return.
Make every shot count. We'll need the help.
Don't let them hit us. I just finished this thing. Okay, another impact and we start losing pieces. Abandon the fight.
I mean, it technically is removed, Nero says. You don't have to do any of these, unless you're doing the side stuff. Yeah, let's line this up a little bit better. There we go. There we go. I had the wrong thing equipped. We're being weird. Gotta beat myself.
Don't let them hit us. I just finished this thing. Interesting strategy. Now try winning. Hey, watch what you're doing.
Oh, God damn it. I look away for a second and someone hits me from the back. Alright, one more try. One more try. See that ship on the left there? It's having some issues. It's kind of freaking out a little bit there. Oh god, and it's just sitting there bugged and still shooting me too, I might add. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Yeah, I don't want the triple shot. The triple shot is actually worse than the double shot.
Well flown and fought. It didn't stop them, but that black eye will make them think twice about our resolve. Now, back to bringing down the bridge.
You better have enough explosives left. Dawnstar and I can't hold them off forever.
Are you sure I shouldn't just charge the main gate? They wouldn't be expecting that.
Unexpected acts are not always successful acts.
You have a narrow understanding of success in battle, Bun Man. Must be your small head. My fill? I have been sated from wine and battle, but never filled.
It looks like we won't have long to wait. Kang better keep his mind on his task at the bridge, or this will be a short last stand.
Hello, Sonic Doctor.
Wait, I sense something.
A presence I've not felt since...
Time is better spent doing than talking.
You didn't see? He was... One of the spirit monks was right there. He stayed behind to tell me that there were hidden treasures still left in Dirge.
I saw nothing. Are you sure you didn't hit your head when you crawled out of the dragonfly?
Okay.
Make light of it if you want, but he said that we should search Dirge. The magic that restored the temple also destroyed spells that cloaked chests hidden in the ruins. The monks used these chests to hide treasures, including powerful weapons. They didn't want them to fall into the Emperor's hands. He said that one was nearby. Maybe we can find it before we reach the bridge. Lead on.
As I say, her visions have been recently proven to be accurate. Also, those two are canonically in a relationship at this point in time, so... It's like, oh, my one true love. Are you sure you're not just secretly insane and crazy? I mean, maybe you just bumped your head there, dear. Pat, 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 condescension beam engaged. So where's the chest? There's no chest here. Yes, they are also cousins. Not that that ever stopped royal families from anything. Really. Ah, whatever.
I have to wedge the casks of dragon powder under the bridge. The Lotus assassins are sure to come up that pass any minute. Keep them from this end of the bridge. Here they come! Hold them off! I only need a minute!
I don't know if I'd agree with that, Brunian.
Try not to break a nail, Princess.
Wait, what? Oh god, it really is a beat 'em up now. Look at this! Look at this! I actually forgot about this. This is straight up Double Dragon right here.
Nuts and bolts! One of the fuses came loose. I need another minute. Or two.
Hurry it up, Kang!
God, move! Ah! Get over there to attack Flame Dude. Yeah, imagine if they were this effective in actual gameplay. Holy crap.
It's done! Get away before it explodes! The fuse is a short one!
You know, if incestuous love gave people superpowers, that would explain a lot about the royal families across history. That gives me an idea for a story.
Stop the main force. But flyers don't stop at bridges. Our friends at the temple may have only gained a few minutes.
Also, can I play as that thing in the background there, please? Please.
Damn it, they've given us a few minutes already. Dawnstar and the Princess did their job too well. That's better.
Just shut up and get ready.
Now that's a big one. Finally, a worthy fight. This is a good fight. It's just supposed to be a challenge threat match.
I think we should go back to the temple. And quickly, before those flyers drop more Lotus assassins.
More is good. Let them come.
But we'd be safer in the temple.
We're safer if I destroy the enemies they send. I prefer an active defense.
It's a valid tactic.
That racket is distracting me from the cries of my enemies. Sky better have a good reason for ringing that bell. I won't stop until they're ankle-deep in blood. Head first. Ah! Come to my axes, all of you!
Good, you are here. The trap is set, the signal's sent. It's all up to you now.
Oh, I actually forgot about this. This is when he betrays us.
No, this is something I couldn't tell you about. Please, give me a chance to explain. You'll like what I have to say, I hope. I was approached, once or twice. The Lotus Assassins offered much, even the chance of returning my daughter. But I assure you, I did not plan to betray you. You showed me that the world, my life, is not as pointless as I once thought. My daughter is long dead. Their offer only shows how desperate you have made them.
I mean, I can't personally imagine Cam Clark ever playing someone who betrays someone else. That's insane.
I let them think I agreed, but hear me out. I couldn't risk that someone else in the group was also tempted. They might tell Death's Hand the plan was discovered. This is a chance to isolate the leader of the troops. Death's Hand thinks that he and a group of assassins will enter the temple unopposed. But I have a surprise. I set traps. Remember how I asked Kang for some of his explosive casks? The assassins will be destroyed, and Death's Hand will be yours alone.
Cool. Let's do it.
He's an arrogant one. I doubt he'd consider the possibility that my loyalty to you would be stronger than my fear of him. The bell was the signal. He'll be here. Thank you for this opportunity, by the way. I could never face Death's Hand myself, but I want to make him pay for thinking I would be so weak.
I will destroy him and definitely not enslave him.
Against me, will he? Make him hurt.
Very good, Sky. You have proven a useful tool.
Guess again, you slab of rot.
It's okay, I trust that he didn't...
Soften him up. I may not be able to fight him while I'm wounded, but at least I did this. I'll go warn the rest.
It's okay, I trust his betrayal of their betrayal, rather than him betraying me, betraying my trust of his betrayal.
You have a better grip on your fellows than my master thought. The plight of a dead child is difficult motivation to resist.
You're an idiot. I mean, I shouldn't say that. You're actually kind of a victim in all this.
That name means nothing. I am the will of the Emperor. I am Death's Hand. Sun Li commands that you die. I must obey. The will of the Master guides me. The strength of the dragon empowers me. I cannot be defeated. I must obey.
Fight as you must. You won't defeat me.
You know nothing about me, about what I endure. Your fists will not defeat me, not while I must obey.
Wait, my fists won't defeat you? Oh, I got something else then.
You refuse to see it, don't you? You must know who Death's Hand is by now, but what he is defies you, defies your skill. He is more than Sun Qin ever was. Sun Hai linked him to the stolen power of the Water Dragon, and bound him to my armor to taunt me. An unrelenting, unbeatable force that wore the face of my betrayal. Now he is mine.
So, Lee. So it just saved, right? Pretty sure it just saved. Yep, okay, we're cool. We're cool. You know, I know quite a bit about you, Lee.
Do you pretend to have insight into my character? Some great truth from beyond the pale that will reform me? I am no villain. There is no malice in my actions. I had no choice. My brother had no restraint. A world under his heel would be chaotic and violent. I will bring order. I will ensure that everyone is safe within their roles.
Trust me, I'm not a villain. I just want to make everyone happy again. Isn't that a good thing? Isn't that how it should be? Anyway, so did you know your child's alive?
What foolishness is this? Death has addled your senses. You bring up memories that are mine alone to bear, and then you claim that they are false. I will not hear this. Your tongue profanes a place in my heart where no one is permitted.
No, I'm serious. Dawnstar is your daughter.
You are truly speaking nonsense. Dawnstar? Ridiculous. But you have no doubt. Your voice is unwavering. You believe this with all your being. You force my hand. I must picture her, unblinded by strategy or hate, and consider what it would mean if she truly were my child.
The answer is...
I must answer, it does not matter.
Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, no, this guy is a legitimate sociopath. He has no empathy or care for anyone other than their utilization as a tool for him. We've actually already talked about this.
If I had the emotions you think I should, I would have defended her or died at her side. But her death had no real meaning to me, so neither does her life. I am forced to confess that my first feeling was not sorrow at her loss, but anger at my brother for destroying my possessions in so petty a manner.
Exhibit A.
In the end, it changes nothing. I intend to make the Empire a better place. As a god, it will be a simple matter. Arise, Death's Hand! You are bound to this power, and you will not stop until this fool is dead.
I like how basically all of these are the same option, so yeah, I can just take him away from you, dude.
You have learned much about your heritage as a spirit monk, but you missed the most important lesson. They are all dead. Their skill did not save them. Do you intend to rescue Death's Hand? Perhaps you think you can appeal to his conscience, to the remnants of kin that swim in that helmet.
So here's where we have the option to get our final party member, if it wasn't obvious. And the final party member is Death's Hand. So we have the option to enslave him, or temporarily enslave him, or restore him. It's okay, I'm only enslaving you for a little bit, okay? We here at the Dominion, I mean the Spirit Monks, believe firmly in temporary enslavement. As long as you do exactly what we say, everything will be sunshine and roses for you, until we have the slightest reason to wipe out your entire people for no good reason. Yeah, I'm actually tempted to see if I've never actually enslaved him. I'll just go ahead and be honest about that. So for the sake of the review, I think we will go ahead and temporarily enslave him in order to help the poor guy, right?
Will you? Even if you could, I believe you would find it difficult to release so valuable a tool. Come then. Pit your will against mine. Take him if you can.
Okay, roll my will save. I got an 11. Oh, I have advantage? Okay, hang on. Oh, nice! That's actually a 19. Yeah! Oh, wait, I still have to kill him. So this is actually a pretty cool sequence, and I'll give them this. You notice who we're playing as? And we just wreck his face, too. Now, he hits hard. Don't mistake. In fact, I'm probably going to suffer here because I refuse to block. But... oh, actually, we could do this, too. I should be doing that. There we go. There we go. So, that's a nice touch.
Enough! You have cut the strings to my puppet, but you will know defeat soon enough. I grow closer to the heavens by the minute. Take this corpse. See if you can throw away such a useful tool. I will face you at the height of my power, in the heart of my empire. Your master awaits you.
Your new empire? My loyalty...
Let me rest.
Sorry.
Let my spirit finally have some peace.
Alright, so hang on. I actually need to look this up here. Look at my options. Because I don't remember how to get... like, there's a couple of endings for this poor guy. And I mean, screw the natural order. As if I give a damn about that. The natural order. Spit. My loyalty is to the Republic. To democracy! There we go. I just wanted to get that out really quick. Okay, so Jade Empire. Let's see how we can go this here. Come on. I think you're right, Ice Strat. That's part of why I'm looking it up here. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Yep. I know it's past. We already know all this stuff. Yada, yada. Okay, here we go. So. Wait, what? So, hang on. This says the only way to get his good endings is to also kill the... oh, never mind. Okay, right. Kill the water dragon, not taint the water dragon. Never mind. I'm found. For those curious, if you taint the water dragon, which is the evil ending, and bind him, Death's Hand, bound to free Hong Kong's will, Death's Hand served the new empire wherever terror was needed to quell dissension. Infused by the ever-growing power of his master, his physical form was eventually corrupted beyond what his armor could contain, and he became something other. Much to Free Hong Kong's approval, as the new form proved far more efficient at instilling fear. Besides, those allowed to comment agreed the symbolism of trapping him within his brother's armor had always seemed quaint. But no. I mean, do you deserve peace?
I believed the words of my brother, thinking him wise beyond my understanding. Had I known what would happen, I would have fought to stop them both.
Would you now? You say that because of your fate, not because of guilt?
I do not claim redemption, but the suffering I have endured must be enough to pay that debt. It must.
No. You suffer me now.
Know this, spirit monk. You walk a path very near that of your master. Both lead to power, but the cost cannot be avoided. Know this, spirit monk. There are prices to pay.
Now I must bind everyone to my will, to my soul. With each passing moment, you make yourself more my servant. It is inevitable. It is Jade Empire inevitable. That's a terrible pun. I don't know where I'm going with that. Was that an eyeball? That is totally an eyeball.
My master.
So I control the army now. All those golems? Yeah. He. Now I got some closed fisting for that, but I think we're still open palm. Pretty sure. I hope. Yeah, this is literally the droid command ship problem in a nutshell. All you have to do is take the command ship.
Matter most unsettling.
What, I just enslaved a guy?
What? He's a damn good fighter. Better to have him as an ally than an enemy.
What?
He's not an ally, he's enslaved.
Well, yeah.
This is not right. Such an honored person should not be tormented in this manner. It was wrong before, and it is wrong now.
By the way, I'm not doing this to be evil, because I can be a lot more evil than this, but no, we're doing something else.
Can you blame us? There is an unsettling new presence in the group.
An odd kind of trophy to collect. Very hard to display without reaction.
I'm going to be nice about this.
Binding the spirit of a member of the royal family is not acceptable.
Oh, piss off.
I must agree. Death's Hand has caused much pain. But if Prince Kin was also the victim of our true enemy, shouldn't he be allowed some peace?
I do not like that he is here. It seems cruel, even if he was our enemy.
By the way, Tazara, you never put money towards
They
anything.
must be respected, but they are still just tools.
In case you missed that.
That could apply to any of us. That is why this is cause for concern.
Alright, who feels Death's Hand should not be here?
I cannot support this. His spirit should be allowed some peace. I can't follow you if you approve of this.
Okay.
As a member of the royal family, I must protest. You cannot do this if you want my support.
I don't care if he goes or stays, but the twisting of a man's soul should not be allowed.
Such a thing is not natural. I won't follow you if this continues. I'd rather face my wife again.
Wow! So I've never bound him, if it's not obvious. I've never seen this. It looks like I will literally lose almost my entire party, other than Black Whirlwind, if I keep Death's Hand. That's actually amusing. I wonder how their endings are affected. Hang on, I'm going to look this up. Like, how are their endings affected if they're kicked out of the party? Let's see here. Eventually, they forgive you for being incredibly evil. Sorry. Oh my god! In the evil ending, you, the player character, kill Dawnstar. What's interesting is I'm going through, none of her endings even reference this event with the Death's Hand. Wow. Fine, I'll let him go. I guess, because I haven't had a chance to save lately. So, whatever. So I'll just tell you what happens if you keep him. Hang on. No, we're not going evil. Jesus Christ. You people. I can actually just read the epilogue here. So, after the power of the Water Dragon was restored, Death's Hand was sustained by Free Hong Kong's force of will. Some consider this cruel, and to Death's Hand it was just continued enslavement. But, in the weeks that followed, the influence that had corrupted him began to fade, and a semblance of self returned. For the first time in decades, Death's Hand felt something other than rage. Sadness, for how he, as Sun Qin, had helped attack Dirge so long ago. Acceptance of this changed him, and he wandered the Empire seeking redemption. No longer bound to Sun Li's armor, he wore it anyways, a symbol not of the monster he was forced to be, but of the monster he had not recognized within himself.
I doubt it will be as easy as that to assuage the fears of those involved. You toy with spirits just like our enemies do.
Oh, for God's sakes.
I am glad that it is so easily resolved. You will do as you have said, won't you?
Fine. Find peace in death.
I am free after all the years. Free.
Have fun.
If this unpleasant matter is behind us, we will need to decide where to go next. We can't stay here indefinitely.
Agreed. This peace will not last. It would not be wise to wait for another assault.
So, let's go.
There's action elsewhere? This is the big finish! I wouldn't miss this fight!
Yes, onward to victory.
Do you really feel you have to ask? Shouldn't the answer be obvious?
I mean, a few seconds ago.
There's no way I'm leaving now.
I think I speak for everyone. We are with you.
Ah, and where else would my machines do as much good?
Well, I want to speak before we leave.
A good idea. I will ferry who...
Blah, blah, blah. Yep, okay, so, hang on. Let's get a hard save in here, because I haven't had a chance to do that lately. We'll erase over that one. Ah! So, okay, what up?
We are a long way from the farm I once called home. I never thought I would make such a journey. Your master is a formidable opponent. We cannot leave the Empire in his hands.
I bind you to my soul.
I will help you carry that weight, but I'm not sure how much use I can be. I will stand by you. Once the corruption is excised, the Jade Empire will be a blank slate, my friend. I will be ready. Rely on it.
Hello. I suppose the marvelous dragonfly is ready. We don't have to worry about landing too many more times. Just make sure you are done talking to everyone. I lost the interior baffling, so you won't be able to hear a thing once we are in the air.
Hey, an excuse for not talking in transit.
Oh, no, I tend to confuse things. Yes, I know I do. This is too important for my mutterings. Besides, the decisions that are coming, they are beyond me. You are deciding the fate of an empire.
Aren't you a god?
My mistakes result in the occasional crater. How big a hole might you be digging,
I tell you, I begin to miss the melodious voice of my wife. So peaceful compared to what follows you around. I look forward to the day when we can return to our simpler lives, although I doubt that will be easy for everyone.
Have you considered being a mailman?
Oh, it will be easy for me. I just cock an ear to the wind and listen. Eventually the shouts of my wife will make their way to me. I hope everyone has so clear a path, and a more peaceful arrival.
Hello again. Do you want to talk to me or the Guardian?
Why would I want to talk to the other demon? God, you.
I'm better now, thanks to you. You put the other back down in a place where he can't hurt me anymore.
I did?
You've done as much for me as the Guardian, and I'll never forget it, no matter what. If things here, if they turn out well, I hope someday when I'm older, we could meet and be friends again. I know that to stand by you, it won't be me. It'll be the Guardian, but my hopes go with him.
Like a true speedrunner. So, we're out.
The Guardian said so.
Yep, okay. Where's Whirlwind? There he is.
The boredom is always greatest before the storm. Could we poke a stick in the eye of this little squall and get moving?
Yeah, don't worry, we got tons of battle soon.
I always have my fists, so I'm always ready. If I lose those, I'll have bigger problems than missing a fight.
First Imperial Decree. Chop, chop.
Better safe than sorry. Kang, make me a wine bowl I can hold with stumps.
Yours or someone else's?
Now that's the kind of idea I can get behind.
I get a quick save in. Let's talk to our 1-2 Wovs, because we have 2 of them for some reason.
So many changes. The Jade Empire is not the place I once thought it was.
You didn't say how Master Li reacted to the news that I am his daughter, but your silence on the subject says much by itself. He didn't believe you.
He didn't care.
More lies? Is nothing in the Empire what it seems? There's so much that is wrong. It is hard to see what is right. And you carry this burden most of all.
Good night, Adam.
What Master Li has done is unforgivable. We have to set things right and undo the evil he has put in motion.
That's how you can tell they're my 1-2 Wovs during the Durgan.
I know. And perhaps the greatest and hardest of those is yet to come. So much is on your shoulders.
I know I'll make the right
I
choice.
do not envy you, but I will be with you, my friend. We will make sure the Empire does not fall to the desires of a corrupted few. I know...
I have have seen everything that I believe in torn apart, one after another. Hopefully it is all over soon. The sins of my family must be dealt with. Only then can the Empire regain the glory it has lost. I will make certain of it. You and I are owed that reward. There will be more. Don't let the weight of your choices cloud your vision. The power that has been unleashed cannot be handled carelessly. The fate of the Empire is at stake. You and I will make things right. I will make...
Nice. The only one I can reference our relationship is with the princess, not Dawnstar, but whatever. Okay, so save. And then we're going to get a real save. No really save. Okay. What about Dawnstar? Cool shot. That one shot took 7 years to make. No, I'm kidding. Although I do wonder how many months were spent on that one. Mapping, drawing, animating, polishing, repolishing, re-repolishing, and then rendering.
Well, here we are. I'd hoped I wouldn't have to use this entrance again. I doubt this visit will be any less violent than the last.
We got this.
Ha! You thought that the last visit was easy. This should be more fun than even I could have hoped for.
Yeah, I'm staying here. For safety.
A startling revelation from Kang.
I expect there will already be enough chaos to go around without your talents.
So, the dragon spirit?
Trust her voice. We need a path through Master Li's corruption.
Trust what you see. Voices can come from anywhere.
Whatever we are doing, we have to do it now.
That's why we're gonna keep talking.
This is going to be a mess. I know it is.
Okay, there's another autosave. But first...
Ah, excellent. I have many items just waiting for you.
What has he got here? Path of the Monk. 50,000 silver. Good God. I do not have that kind of gold. Or silver. Whatever, you know what I mean. But I am more powerful than ever. We talk again?
We have to find Master Li.
Not really. Okay, good. Let's do. Hello, Consulate. It's time for the final countdown. Which will be a little anticlimactic because I can turn into a golem. Oh yeah, I need to change my party members. Don't let me forget to change my party members. Oh yeah, should I mention all of my attacks are AoE as the golem? I don't think I mentioned that before, but it's relevant. Because all of my attacks are AoE as the golem. So, you know, there's that. Strut, kind of. Alright, get out of my party. Hang on. Let me get out of combat. There we go.
I am honored that you have chosen me.
Ah, it could be Dakota.
You have come. Destiny set this moment in motion, but from here, your choices are your own to make. Your master awaits you, but he is not yet aware. You have time to alter things to your favor. You have time to set us all on the path to rebirth. Learn what has come before, and you will understand what must be done now. Follow into the depths and see what was done in search of my power.
Yeah, this is why we didn't finish last night.
Spirits know many things, but how to assault a fortress does not appear to be one of them.
I mean, can you blame them? They just go through the walls.
Follow her, and take someone with you. But whoever you leave behind should take another route. That way they don't get behind you and we'll all get equal fighting.
Okay.
You don't know the palace. You will wander aimlessly.
I always wander aimlessly, and I always find my way. Besides, we've been here before.
Fair enough, Shikor. Alright, everyone meet near the throne room.
Fighting in the heart of the palace? I never thought I would visit, and now I'm storming its walls for the second time.
It is not a task I wanted, but we have no choice.
Oh, you'll see, Sile, dear. You'll see. What I mean is that I will be invincible and immortal. I will rule on high, as Sultan!
The tombs of the greatest emperors. Here the empire was built, and here the heart of it is laid to rest. Now that heart is torn out, like another to come. It was gutted to allow the flow, to guide the water that pours from a crime against the heavens and the order of all things.
Hang on, let me get my very small violin.
Such disrespect! This was done after Master Li ran from the Emperor, but he must have known it would be needed.
What hope is there for the future when the past is cast so roughly aside?
Hang on, I need to find a smaller violin.
Emperor Sun would not accept that his empire had to fade so that something new would bloom. He declared war as if the drought was an advancing army. He and the glorious strategist focused on me, the water dragon. I symbolized the fading they wanted to avoid and the regrowth they desperately needed. I became the answer to everything. Press further, and you will see the source of the lush new empire under the brothers' sun.
Is it me, or is she like straying closer to the camera as the scene goes on?
See it with your own eyes to comprehend what they have done.
Yeah, if not for the fact that both the Emperor and his brother were basically evil, they would literally be the good guys. Yes, I have, and no, I don't, Sonic Doctor. Unless you happen to like player-generated content games, in which case that's all on you. So I believe this is where I codify the bad ending, I think? And by, I'm sorry, the evil ending. Or am I basically incapable of getting the evil ending at this point? Okay, no, I am right. So we'll go ahead and get a save here. In fact, we'll actually get a new save. There we go.
This cannot be. How... What have they done to this creature?
Behold, words would not have sufficed. You had to see with your own eyes to truly know my fate. This cannot continue. Fight them. Show them that such things will not go unpunished.
Okay, seriously. Jade Golem form. Go away. I can't see what I'm doing all that well, but we'll just kind of make do there. There we go. Yeah, she is really overemphasizing this. You don't understand! They bled me for water. I mean, that's pretty messed up, but she is really trying to overemphasize that. Oh yeah, and we're literally, all the water we're getting is literally her blood, so yay! Drought over. I would love it if they had actually analyzed or gone into some of the consequences of living off of dragon blood as water. For the soil, for the plants, for the people, for the animals.
This is what he has done. This is what your Master Li allowed. For 20 years, my body has bled, separate from the spirit, feeding the Empire and the Emperor.
I mean...
It is an agony that you cannot fathom. To have fallen so far into the hands of men, rebirth is impossible while this continues.
Okay. Like, I'm pretty sure what happened to Kim is actually worse than this. So...
This is not right. Gods do not bleed.
No, but gods can die.
Forgive us, great dragon. Our mortal kin are ignorant, foolish, unkind. These crimes will not go unanswered.
I have never seen such a crime against the proper order of things.
Every freedom I cherish is violated by this.
They're all so bothered by this.
You small creatures. You heard the sounds of battle, but are you truly prepared? What will become of your world if my kind fall to the same evils that plague you? Your Master Li must be stopped. The Empire must find balance without the flow of heart water he has unleashed.
I'm sorry, why do you blame Lee? Actually, you know what? Hang on. This is why the drought was ended, right?
Water flows from the wound that will not heal in the body that cannot die. Part of me functions as an aspect of our world, elemental in nature. It was never meant to flow free. It is not infinite. The Jade Empire is green, but somewhere another land goes thirsty. All things are linked.
That's pretty much the only reference to that I mentioned earlier.
Their concerns were for the Empire alone. Nothing else mattered.
So yeah, there you go. There's one of like 4 insights into the fact that there is a world outside of the Jade Empire. Like I said, tiny little peaks. So, what could I do about this?
You are a spirit monk, charged with guarding the order of things. You were not born to this role, but as the last, a solemn duty falls at your feet. I cannot be healed. My body has been cut open, my heart removed. I should rejoin the Great Wheel, but I am defiled and cannot rest. Rebirth can only come when my essence is free. To defeat your master, you must stop the power he draws from me. Soon he will be too strong, even for you. Your master abuses the amulet he took from you. His brother did not have that luxury, so he needed to draw my essence slowly. The toll on his body was grave. Your master does not have to be so cautious. The amulet is not a source of power, but it is a focus. He partakes of energy that mortals were never meant to hold. He laps at it greedily, expecting your return. You must destroy the source of that power. You must destroy my body. When he falls, all that is mine will then rejoin my spirit. Rebirth.
Hold up. Couldn't I control this power too?
To what end? Look what has become of our master. Look what he has been a part of.
It is tempting, I know, but care must be taken. Even the strong-willed have misused this energy.
Nah, that's fair.
I do not think the mind of a mortal was meant to hold such ability.
Piss off, Sky.
Beware what you say, for you are still mortal and open to the same weaknesses he and his brothers displayed.
Tell you what. And then... Damn it. Damn. I like Kiera's comment. Hopefully in her next life she'll be someone a little less vague. You know, in Dirge, the blood in the fountain suppressed your power without destroying it.
It seems that you learned your lessons in the spirit realm a little too well. Yes. Blood from your mortal companions could be used to poison my body.
Really? Interesting.
The energy flowing to Sun Li would be disrupted, making him vulnerable. Defeat him, and my power would remain trapped in this body, for you to use. You could claim his place, become a god. As the blood poison waned, your power would surpass his and eventually consume my very being. But the water that flows from me now sustains the Empire. If you poison my body, you poison wherever that water flows. You would taint the heart of the Empire.
So, I'd like to say in the interest of fairness, at least she's telling us the truth here, but I'm with Dakoita. This feels more like a GM talking to the players through a PC rather than an in-character conversation. You know what I mean? This is like literally the player turning to the GM, what if I poisoned the well like he did? And the GM's like, oh, well, I guess you could take control of it. I mean, with your power, I could make things better.
Better than what? Free choice?
Your will alone would decide what those improvements are? What about tradition?
For whom would you make things better? Everyone, or just those who pleased you?
Actually, a benevolent tyrant isn't a tyrant, it's a dictator. I hate to disagree with you there, buddy. Let's do the good ending first.
There is no other decision to make. This desecration, we must undo it.
A good step toward rectifying this desecration.
There was no other reasonable response to such an abomination.
Then let it be so. Take hold of a blade, Spirit Monk, and let it strike true. Destroy the machine that maintains this abomination. The great wheel must turn.
Yeah, sure thing, Elder God. Ah, the late Tony J.
It's time. We must go.
What was that?
To the throne room.
I'm not gonna do it because my throat, I've had coughing issues. But Richard, you fool! Your soul is mine. Wrong way. Hang on. Okay, so moving on. I'm sorry, Gum Gum. Who's like these people's? I mean, they're Chinese, I guess. Where am I going? Oh, this way. Okay, sure, whatever.
I will live to be as old as the Empire itself, and I will never be able to remove that sight from my mind.
Wait, you're going for immortality too?
I will treasure this moment for as long as I live. To have a hand in such a creature's destiny, it is an honor.
This was nearly overwhelming. My eyes were not meant to see such things.
Alright, let's go.
Yes, your master. He made this possible. I don't know how much help I will be against him.
None, actually.
I can't leave here knowing I didn't try.
We will try. There is nothing else we can do.
Hey, the door opened. And here's some random mooks.
There are others here who may wish to express a preference in this matter.
So, hold them.
I will try. I have to.
Yeah, Kang's a god. We've got 2 demons in the party, not counting me, obviously. Let's go ahead and get a quick save in here for no reason. It's like Silence J. Thank you very much, Silence J23. Not only for the sub, but for the well wishes. I have to admit, I do feel for the people who are being more substantially affected by this whole YouTube crap. Point in case, how many of you have noticed that Sci-Fi Debris is relocating to yet another video hosting service? And I don't say that mockingly. This is like the 5th time he's had to move his show from one video service to another. Yeah. So, that sucks. And that's pretty much why I have made my comment before, that there's not really another option for me. Because there isn't. I do not speak facetiously. Anyways, thank you again for the sub. And if you happen to know where you'd like to put that for funding a future stream, just let me know. Alright, who's ready for the best ending of the game? Yep, doing it on Pornhub. I'll just be like, and today we're going to be talking about the Klingons. And then start undoing my tie. No, anyways. Hang on, Gum Gum. Like, I don't know if they have any, really.
There you are. I knew you would come, and I have grown very good at waiting. You are very different from the student I once taught. Death changed you, I imagine. I apologize for that indignity, but it was necessary. It was also meant to be the end of you, but you surprised me again. I should have studied your people before wiping them out.
Should I try to appeal to him as a daughter? I don't know if he is truly beyond caring or not.
Might as well try. I mean, sure, why not?
I did my best with what I understood at the time. I trained you with a weakness. You would succeed, but be vulnerable. I thought I anticipated everything.
Master Li, Sun Li, please hear me. Don't do this. I know you are not as heartless as you appear. You couldn't be. Not and still be my father.
Once more you try to restore me. My lost family was just one more tool. If they had ever meant more than that, I would have been present when they fell. That it was you, Dawnstar, only reinforces this. I would have recognized you if I had cared to. What use are heirs to a god?
I'm not sure what I expected my father to be, but I remember a time when I hoped he was someone like you. Not anymore.
So, yes, I am Silent J. In fact, if you Silence J, excuse me. If you happen to check the website, you'll notice both other runs are up on the funding list right now.
I killed hundreds of your kind, thousands, just for the chance to become a god. I can't let you live, now that I am one. I am more than Sunhai ever was. I will undo the damage of his ignorance, force the dead to their rest, and keep the waters flowing. My empire will be ordered, obedient, and neither ghosts nor gods will plague it.
Wait, really?
And you are all that stands between me and the new peace. My brother summoned underlings to defeat you. I will create them from the very stone.
But... Right. Go, go, Power Rangers! All right, I've got a gun, Power Rangers! What? They can't handle the gun. I'm not actually kidding. As you can see, they literally cannot handle the gun. What's funny is getting hit actually speeds up my attack animation, so I'm okay with that. So we just do that, and then we do that. And they're dead. Do, 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 do. Are we done here? We cool? Oh yeah, hard save. Okay, yep, thank you for reminding me. Brilliant. So let's go ahead and get a new save here. Do, 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 do.
Almost over. I don't think there's any...
Now we got this.
An impressive display. Your star shines bright, but it is still trapped within a mortal body. Perhaps a more direct application of my power will show you what you are up against.
Oh, absolutely, Gum Gum. Oh no, I've been turned to stone.
Your shell truly is. Yes, this will amuse me. Worse than actually dying. Seeing death come and being unable to stop it.
I thought the black sheep wasn't like the worst, it was just the unliked one.
Barriers are no match for those we place in our own minds. My power has encased you in doubt, held you with the weight of your burden.
You're... Okay.
You and your followers are playthings. The rest are held just as you are. You are each too weak to match my power.
It's the Shaw of Doubt! The Shaws of Doubt, apparently. Hey, guys.
What the hell is going on?
Don't worry about it. So, guide your minds to me. Add your strength to mine. You fools have a use after all! Hi! I'm still a giant Jade Golem, even in my head. What? Aren't you a giant Jade Golem in your head? Like, I close my eyes and it's like...
But pointless. My talons are deep within you.
Hey, it's all the romance options.
Leap to your defense, but no matter. The weight of my power will crush you soon enough.
You know nothing of loyalty.
I am with you. We haven't come this far to fail now.
We cannot let this stand, not when so much is at stake.
I stand with you. We will not fall just yet.
I'm pretty sure this fight changes based on who you have and what loyalty you have. And it basically boils down to having to fight more enemies here. Which is kind of neat. Strut. Aw. There we go. Got the save in.
Your efforts are meaningless. Do you think to counter my influence by yourself? A god holds you. Nothing in the mortal realm can help you. Nothing.
Thank you for pointing that out, Brennan. I didn't know I could do that. Yeah, I'm not cheating, Codex. I'm just... This is just the golem.
Hidden, trying to keep focus. I give you all that I am, all that I was. Restore what has been corrupted.
By the way, funny fact. If basically Zoo is against you, he still helps you here. But he says, I choose you as the potential bad guy, rather than Lee, who is the guaranteed bad guy, which I thought was kind of a neat touch. So, final boss time. This is it. The most epic encounter.
Understand. The raw energy, you are far too resistant to it. The loyalty you inspire is also tiresome, but I respect it. You have truly become a spirit monk. In another time, I would be proud of your ability.
I mean, you were a decent teacher, it's just you're an idiot.
I am not satisfied with helping others surpass me. I quickly tired of elevating my brother, and I will not learn to serve you.
I mean, you could.
I see now that the Water Dragon's power is the prize, not the means to victory. No matter what I expend, while you live, you will resist. That is your role. It is the celestial bureaucracy attempting to restore balance. We must bring the fight back down to Earth, unless you are made to see reason.
Wait, what? What do you mean?
What if I guarantee your name will live in the heart of each and every citizen in the Jade Empire? It is a glory beyond mere heroics. You would be eternal. I do not seek power as my brother did. I will correct the violence inherent in man. I will make certain there are no more wars, no more droughts. Everyone will be content in their roles, and they will hold in their hearts the warrior who sacrificed everything so that they might prosper. You could make that happen.
He's got a good point, guys. I mean, you can't have a nightmare if you never dream.
If you defeat me, little will change. In time, this empire will come and go, along with the memory of what you did. I seek eternal stability.
Yes.
Your name will forever be lauded. In the end, is that not the only immortality worth having?
Except you actually want the traditional form of immortality. So I'll be forever remembered as a hero by all.
Forever. Not a man, woman, or child will go a day without acknowledging your sacrifice. Many have struggled for utopia. You will be the heart of it.
You know what? Yeah, this sounds pretty good. Let's do it.
You do? You will let down your defenses so that I may guide the Jade Empire to a stable future?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, totally. Notice how many... We have to hit like 6 dialogue options in a row to get this to happen. They make sure you're really sure about this. For the Jade Empire and the name of Free Hong Kong! I agree.
Then let it be done. You give yourself to a far greater glory than you could ever know. Goodbye, my student. You fulfilled your role just as I had wished.
He's so shocked by this. So, bad ending.
The statue of the hero. A shining symbol of sacrifice.
They really did make a giant statue of us out of gold.
Gratitude for all the prosperity we have.
What was life like before?
You don't need to know. All that matters is the glory of the Empire.
But we need to ask questions to honor what was done. What if this hero wasn't finished?
This is your lesson for today. To be happy in your station, you don't need to know.
We don't need to know.
Very good. Return to your place. Now, who has delivered the Empire from war and pestilence?
The hero and the glorious strategist.
Who showed us how to sacrifice for the greater good, so we are free to live in peace?
The hero and the glorious strategist.
Who has ensured that the Empire will endure forever?
The hero and the glorious strategist.
The end. I actually enjoy that ending because A, as Sildur points out, he actually kept his word. He really did keep his word. It's actually kind of funny. But B, I mean, obviously it's nice and dystopian and horrible. You notice the Golem being like, "Did you just question?" Like, didn't even say anything, just kind of slow creaking as the Golem moves to look at the child. And you get the impression that the Golem could just conk the child right then and there in front of a group of kids, right? But then the other thing, and no one else comments on this, you notice everyone looks dead. Like their eyes are milky and their skin is kind of rotten. You get the impression that the only way for the Eternal Empire to work is for there to be no births and no deaths, so... I apparently can't skip this cutscene. Unskippable credits! Assassin's... We're going to start calling this the Assassin's Creed negative. Yeah, imagine being a child for 1,000 years. Oh god, that's horrifying. That is so horrifying. The hero and the glorious strategist. Submit yourself to the glorious strategist and the hero. So I didn't really understand the question, Gum Gum. So I guess I'd say I don't think they really have any, per se. No, we're not actually done with the game yet. I have 2 other endings to show off. I'd show them off quicker if it let me do this. Yeah, I'm just gonna close the game. Alt F4. Which, here's all the people that... That's great, nobody cares. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Yeah, there's a sweet range of people, Alpha Host, like in the middle of their lives, who are really happy with the stagnation. And everyone else is like, oh god, I've been an 80-year-old man for 400 years. I can't even go to the bathroom on my own. And of course, his caretaker also hates it because he has to help him go to the bathroom every day for 400 years. Yeah, all these people don't actually work here anymore. Isn't that nice? There we go. Pull it back up there. So... that one, yep.
Your efforts.
Your efforts! Now we have skippable cutscenes. Okay, so instead we say no, and he's like, yeah, okay. So, final boss fight. Now, what do you think? This guy who is literally a god, or a Jade Golem? You be the judge! And that was the last boss.
Surprise me yet again. I'm a better teacher than I thought.
I like how his last line is praising himself. And now the drought returns. Yay! I can't wait to see everyone's smiling, happy faces at knowing the drought has returned. Huh. Look at all their happy faces. Ah, thank goodness. Soon we will understand what it's like to have critical medical dehydration. It's pretty unpleasant, I can tell you from experience. Aren't you dead? Go away. Ugh. Stupid twit. So this is the good ending. I'm not actually sure why they're applauding, as weird as that may sound. Yay, he killed the emperors! Like, you'd think there'd be some serious political fallback for killing 2 emperors in a row in a country where the emperors are considered divine and untouchable. Like, they've actually mentioned that in-game. That's not me making it up. That's just... Yay! Okay, so, Silk Fox, though the credibility of her family was understandably marred by the actions of her father and uncle, Princess Sun Lian emerged from the incident with newfound credibility that easily secured her claim to the throne. Hey! This is thanks in no small part to keeping free Hong Kong close at hand. He was welcomed as her companion and eventually as emperor at her side. Together they would rule over a new golden age that seemed like it would never end. Hang on, that feels contrary to everything. Meanwhile, the defeat of Sun Li signaled a new beginning for the Jade Empire and a personal awakening for Dawnstar. Despite the loss to the Master she thought she knew, with the restoration of the natural order, the Empire seemed alive with possibility. If you call desiccation a possibility. She had seen the heart of the land in turmoil, so she retraced her steps, replacing memories of destruction with sights of renewal. Soon she found herself back in the ruin of 2 rivers. It was painful, but she took comfort in knowing that the fish were abundant and the land is fertile. And eventually, new settlers will come. She replanted her garden, a flower for each of her lost friends, and then set out once more. Drastic shifts in power always create political and economic turbulence. In the years following the defeat of Emperor Sun Li, things were remarkably calm, with food supplies reaching the poor and imperial control of areas abandoned to near lawlessness quickly restored. Those who were there credit the smooth transition to the aid of a group called the Guild. Working under some mysterious imperial sanction, the Guild's agents moved quickly to supply those who needed them most, and helped the imperial army pinpoint camps of bandit leaders and others who threatened imperial control. While the Guild faded from sight as peace was restored, stories persisted. And most stories recounted the exploits of this mysterious organization's dashing new leader, Sky. His ready smile, endless energy, and kindness made him a legend amongst the common people. Henpecked Hao's wife finally tracked him down, and brought him back home to settle back into the simple bunmaster's life. A few years later he became a father for the first time, though having septuplets at his age was not unheard of. Having 7 daughters at once was a bit peculiar. Shortly thereafter... Oh god, I think that's like only the second time they've referenced the whole... They've directly referenced the lack of children because the cycle of souls thing. Anyways... Shortly thereafter, Hao became deathly ill after accidentally eating a bun he intended to give to his wife. His wife invited her entire family to live with them while he was bedridden. He recovered more quickly than expected, but word of his poisonous bun made sure his career as bun master was over. Instead, he became a delivery man, delivering packages throughout the Empire. He is yet to return from his first delivery. The will of the heavens was fulfilled, the heart of the water dragon restored, and her soul reborn. Balance returned to the heavens, and the Jade Empire endured, even though that's actually contrary to the whole point of rising and falling, and the Empire was actually on a downswing and should have died 20 years ago. His duty discharged, Chai Ka, the heavenly gate guardian, returned to his helm once more. In honor of his service to the heavens, the girl, Wildflower, whom Chai Ka had raised to serve as his anchor, was gifted the most precious gift of all, life. She was given a chance to live a new life. Woo! Revealing Kang the Mad as Lord Lao could have had great effect on the Empire, but after the victory over Sun Li, Kang remained much as he was. He continued to build wonders for free Hong Kong, and he is still criticized over the chaos his machines created, but angry mobs have no sting when you're a minor deity. At first, Lao Kang found this liberating. His inventions reached new heights of destructive potential, but after a time he realized his pursuers had been the driving force behind him. Nothing stirs the imagination like having your life depend on your next creation. Few understood his motives when he began actively arming his most vocal detractors, but he insisted, standing amidst the craters, that it was for the good of all. The Black Whirlwind accepted a job hunting demons for the celestial bureaucracy, but the ensuing red tape frustrated him so much he gave up for it and headed to the mysterious east. Shortly thereafter, the Empire received a great influx of Outlanders, many of whom were missing limbs and body parts. He returned to the Jade Empire several years later, but this time he came from the west. He couldn't explain how he did it, but he was the only person unsurprised to arrive when he started. Expressing a newfound hatred for people who couldn't make a decent bowl of wine, he vowed never to leave the Jade Empire again. A week later, he got bored and headed north. Sir Roderick Ponce von Sir Roderick Ponce von Fontelbottom, the magnificent bastard, left the Jade Empire a broken man. His skills had failed him in his moment of greatest import, and he found it difficult to stomach his defeat. Despite his grand capacity, surely he'd not lost as badly as he thought. Surely there was some explanation. Surely he still had something to teach this barbaric land. After much soul-searching, he traded his last pair of pantaloons for passage to the prosperous East, and began the long journey home. It is said he eventually found the Fountain of Kuth, and is now virtually unflappable. That or he was accidentally killed by the Black Whirlwind. It's hard to say. People seem to lose interest. As for Percival, he tired of being called Shirley and returned to his village. You know, I agree, honestly. Dakota. Oh, excuse me. So, credits. Alt F4. These people made a game. Actually, we're going to do one more thing before we try out New Game Plus. Real quick. Shouldn't take too long. I think it's this one. Yep.
This cannot be.
Thousand cuts. Told me before.
Yeah, let's just speed this up here. Let's just bug the game out. Oh my god. Ignore going under the camera. That's cool. It's all cool. Gotta do the strut.
Thousand cuts. Mirabelle.
This is...
By all the heavens.
Ahem, with your power I can make things better.
There is no...
Whoops! God dang it! Ah! Ah! That's why I was trying not to screw that up, but I screwed it up anyways. Alt F4. Hang on. Give me a second.
This cannot be.
I accidentally was a good guy, guys. Sorry. What's funny is I was mashing it very carefully. I just apparently wasn't mashing it carefully enough. I'm not even sure how I skipped that. I'll have to watch the VOD at some point, figure out what I screwed up there. Just die. I said die! Or bug out the game. Both are acceptable outcomes. There we go. Oh my god, you're just making this take too long. Go away.
This is...
Of course, now I'm even more impatient.
By all the heavens.
The rain... You...
To what?
It is...
I do...
It's... The... You...
There it is, that's how it happened. Okay, that makes sense.
Better...
Yo...
Yep, okay. So, it is my decision alone.
No, I will not allow this. We would trade one tyrant for another.
Dictator.
One murderer for another. I cannot support this.
I mean, I have to sacrifice you to make this happen?
Try to walk with the gods? This is the arrogance we have been fighting. No!
So, whose blood will you use? So we can use Dawnstars, Silk Foxes, or Skies. Whose blood should we use? We can also use How's. But I mean, I was thinking Dawnstar would be most apropos. I actually don't know why we can't use our own. We can't use Wildflowers, it's not an option. Yeah, let's use Skies, I agree. Sky!
This can't be right. Not after everything we have done. I will not allow it.
I cannot let this stand. I will fight you!
My father betrayed the Empire. I won't let you join him in that madness. I won't.
But...
Struggle as best you can. Your world is in the balance.
I have heard enough. I will kill dissenters with my own hands.
This is what you want? Then the friend I knew is well and truly dead at Master Li's hand.
But after that, we...
I have no choice, though I know I will not win.
I mean, we...
Come.
Sort of.
Face me then. I will fall for the Empire I once believed in.
Whatever.
This I really don't care for. Someone, help!
What?
If they fight for me, they will benefit from my influence as you have, Spirit Monk.
Uh-oh. They turned into Top Man.
The heavens guide your hands. Pray it is enough.
Rage against the heavens. Also, you are dead, and you are dead, and you are dead. I'll shoot you. For old time's sake. Da-da-da. So, as I was saying, now that I got plenty of blood, honestly, this is just, okay, all joking aside, I do think she is a villainous character. I just think she happens to be slanted in a more positive light than the obviously evil people. But I would still consider her a villain. Make of that what you will. She looks so sad. It's just going to be eternal servitude. Sorry. Okay, that's mean. I don't actually mean that. That's mean. But yeah, so but yeah, she actively manipulates us the entire game. She really does. And as Taqueta points out, the moment we start not going where she wants us to go, she's like, "Whoa!" and actually shifts paymasters immediately. Yeah, I took your power. I had to...
Now that this is over with, your old master waits for a beating in the throne room.
Had to see that one more time. I know I could skip it, but I had to see that one more time. Okay, so now that we have infinite power... So what kind of family values do they have? Honest and trustworthy? Never giving up? Adding value to the world? Personal supposed to be? So I don't... I feel like I don't understand your question. I don't really think of those things as family values so much as just values. No one else will question my will. Master Li will fall!
Bah! Danger in front or danger in back. Only a fool forgets to keep an eye in both directions.
Roland, could you deal with this?
Ah! Safety has no place in battles that decide empires.
But yeah, we are literally locked into being stupid evil. From one action, if you're paying attention. Which is funny, because KOTOR did the same thing, if you remember. You could be a good guy the whole game, but the only choice that really matters is the one right towards the end on, I forget the name of the planet, right before the Starforge. And you get there and it's like, hey, ultra evil mode engaged. And then you're ultra evil. Yeah, exactly, Lycon. Not really, Gum Gum.
Ah, there you are.
I can't think of one anyways.
I knew.
So, blah, blah, blah. So, will you not give one last thought to Dawnstar, your daughter?
That it was Dawnstar only reinforced...
I had to dispose of her.
Ah, so even you know when to cast aside those who have moved beyond usefulness. Then you understand why you, too, must fall. I killed hundreds of your kind. I will... And...
Blah, 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 blah. So. Gun kata mode engaged. Not that I can think of, Gum Gum, no. Like, I'm having trouble even properly understanding your question because it's something I've never even considered. So that's round one done. Heal a little bit while we're at it.
That wasn't so hard. A shame we have to kill him. He was great at supplying us enemies.
Save.
An impressive... Physical barriers are no match for those we place in our own minds.
Unskippable.
My power has encased you in... You and your followers are playthings. The rest are held just...
My followers, all two of them.
You are each too weak to match my power.
Oh, there they are. So as you can see, now we have to fight two things instead of one from last time. Just showing off what I mentioned last time. And super dead. quick. But again, no, Gum Gum is the answer to your question. Yeah, it makes a huge difference, Tyler, as you can tell. I don't have anyone for this one. Look, it's like...
These you must face on your own. You have driven your followers from you, sacrificing them as you needed. Are you certain we are so different?
Toad Demon Form.
Uh, 5 seconds is overselling it, I think, Sile dear. Alright, so let's see what Zoo says.
I have moved with you, hidden, trying to keep focus. You may become a tyrant, but his tyranny is certain. I give you all that I am, all that I was. Defeat him if you can.
See?
Once again, I misunderstand.
Okay, so. We won't kill him instantly this time. Maybe. Okay, we'll kill him instantly. Change my mind. If you're not noticing, he's actually doing the focus time slow thing on me. I have to focus to counter it, basically. It's probably one of the more interesting things about the last boss fight. And if you don't do it with Jade Golem, he's actually kind of mean. And I don't feel like dealing with that. But that's why it doesn't get a negative, because it's actually a decent last boss.
You surprise me.
It's not great, but it's decent.
I'm a better teacher than I thought.
Essentially, he's the only single encounter in the entire game who actually has your moveset. I am evil and also victorious. One of the more amusing things I always find about this game is all this started because of a drought. Don't mistake me, droughts are big deals, but... yeah. Yay, they're all happy that they're getting a new emperor. And I now dub Black Whirlwind Emperor. I'm out. Peace. So, hi. You can tell it's evil because it's red. Oh yeah, we're frowning too. That's how you can tell we're evil now. Yeah, there's a couple ways this can go, guys. You can willingly get on your knees. Frowny face. I can tell by your frowny face you are the true emperor. I'll never teach them the Jade Golem form, but I'll teach them the Toad Dragon, or the Toad Demon form. Not all destinies serve heaven. Heaven, too, can be caught in a larger, more malignant fate. Chai Ka, the heavenly guardian, fulfilled his destiny but failed in the eyes of heaven. Cast out from the celestial bureaucracy, he wandered as a tormented demon bereft of purpose. His anchor, the child Wildflower, also wandered. Sustained by the celestial powers that gave her rebirth, she knew life but not death. Forever a child in body, she saw the wasteland her homeland had become, and cursed the fate that made it so. After Sun Li's defeat, Free Hong Kong fortified the empire against any possible assault. Kang the Mad, revealed to be as the minor deity Lord Lao, continued his service in the Emperor, creating ever more fearful devices, each intended for a more powerful target than the last. But Lao Kang knew someday, probably after he helped subjugate the rest of the heavens, he would no longer be of use. He was certain he would eventually be called to build a machine to pull his own heart out and to steal his power, and that just gave him the willies. His last invention opened a portal to another plane of existence, and he, along with a good portion of the Golden Delta, disappeared within. Nothing says I quit like a crater the size of a lake. The Black Whirlwind accepted that's the exact same ending for him, so never mind. Sir Roderick has the exact same ending, and we did it. That's the evil ending. That's it. Now, it's worth noting that you can convert your followers to the dark side, because let's call it what it is. And if you do so, they actually don't turn on you, and they live through the ending there. And then they're like, oh, I join you. So what's interesting is if, this is actually kind of cool, I forget the exact way this lines up, but if you go the evil route, and she lives, but she's actually good, or whatever, like if you complete her story arc, she proves to be a measuring hand against your evil rule, so you actually become a decent ruler, which is interesting. If, on the other hand, she's evil, and you're evil, and you go the take over the world ending, then she's like this horrifically evil, like cartoonishly, mwahaha, torturing puppies kind of character. Which I'd have to do some save editing in order to actually show off properly, so just trust me here. You can look it up if you don't believe me. So I have to be honest, I don't think any of those endings really deserve any positives. What do you guys think? Honest question. Like, they're not... I don't honestly think they deserve negatives, but I also don't think they deserve positives. They're just kind of there, and it's like, okay. I'll watch the VOD, Salder. I don't feel like getting into it right now. Like, this woman has deliberately misled us the entire game. The entire game. 100% of it. From the first moment we meet. Anyways. There was one positive, that's true. Yeah! So, yeah. Oh yeah, she also constantly accuses other people of misleading us. You must not allow them to keep you from the true path. And she constantly pontificates about how there is a natural order to things, which is what she says it is, and that anything against that is wrong and sacrilegious. She also expresses no real sympathy for anyone else who is suffering other than herself. Now don't mistake me, as I pointed out, what was done to her was pretty messed up, but... it's not the most messed up thing in this game. In fact, I'd say it's not even in the top 5. But no, this is sacrilege beyond all reasoning. Why? Because it's happening to her. She, I would actually argue, is in a couple of ways more evil than, what's-his-face, than Lee is. Because Lee, at least, is wrong and horrible, whereas she is completely self-interested. Okay, so, New Game Plus. We'll grab the first one. Right, we have to do this separately. New game, hang on. Sure, whatever. So, we'll grab this. Let's see how this works. I don't discuss religion within the setting at all, Gum Gum, as a deliberate choice, so make of that what you will. So let's see what happens. So, do I have to do this freaking tutorial? I think I do. Mandatory tutorial.
I'm too much for you.
I am hitting him several times, game. I actually can't, Zilok. It literally won't let me. Just trying to get past this here. I'll say, I think the way it works is the enemies have higher stats and you keep your stuff. Pretty sure that's how that works. Yeah, I probably just hit and mashed a little too quickly there. Absurdity. Oh, now I have to defeat him. Like, look how little damage my golem is doing to the first enemy in the game. Look at that. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so we are level 1. It looks like we keep our stats. That is to say, our body, health, mind, focus, etc. But we are level 1. Our open palm and closed fist is reset. We do keep our skill points spent and our spare skill points. Obviously, we don't have any of that. Looks like we obviously don't have any of our gems either. So, stats, skill points spent. And of course, we obviously keep our techniques and our forms as a direct consequence of that. That is not bad. Yeah, no, I think that qualifies as a good New Game Plus. What do you guys think? It's not the best. What's their approach to courtship? You ask an empire of dozens of races what their approach to courtship is? Whoops. Yeah, I would prefer having access to the gems too, but even Chrono Trigger doesn't let you keep your items, for example. So yeah, I think this deserves a positive. I think it does. It's actually better than I remembered, to be completely honest. So we'll go ahead and tack on one last positive there. Oh, do we keep the money? I don't even see that. You're right. There's the silver. So when we get to What's-His-Face, we can buy those 50 silver things. So yeah, that is pretty good. And that's it. That's everything. So we'll give that extra positive here. New Game Plus. I want you to imagine something, Sile, there. I want you to imagine that you come to me and you're a good guy, okay? Because you want to help people and take care of people. But you don't give a crap about them. You're only doing it because it's your job. So you don't actually care about people. You don't actually... Other people don't mean anything to you. They're numbers, okay? They're numbers on a spreadsheet. Does that make you good or evil, in your opinion? Because obviously the very definition of evil is a debatable thing. So yeah, I think that will leave us with a +5 to story and a +5 to gameplay. Which is actually interesting, because that's a little higher than I thought it would be, to be completely honest. See you around, Silence. Have a good one. She is also a provable lying hypocrite. That is a valuable thing to note. So this is day 4. And I can check my time. It was over here. 28 hours. And no cheats. We didn't need cheats. Woo! Kind of addressing it in my mind. But yeah, no, I kind of stand by most of this. If I'm being honest, this is still a good game. I mean, +5/+5 is a very respectable score. But I can kind of see, on hindsight, why this one kind of sits lower, in my opinion, of the BioWare games. I'll probably never replay this one after this playthrough. And yeah, I do think I've said this so many times, it kind of stands at the confluence between old BioWare and new BioWare. You didn't need cheats. I had the Jade Golem. It is definitely dated, but I do think it has aged reasonably well in the parts that count. Like, the camera work is not good, but it's also not as bad as I remembered. The animations are bad, but the actual core gameplay is actually pretty smooth and responsive. I know it doesn't look like it, but trust me when I say it's actually a very responsive combat system. It's the fault of the animations that it doesn't look like it. The leveling system is kind of eh. Like I said, a lot of these things are just kind of ehs, which is why it's neither plus and neither negative, so you kind of see the overall perspective here. That's why I say this is still a good game, but I can't list this as super amazing. This was nevertheless fun to go through, and I will also have to admit this worked better than I thought it would, considering, you know, I actually held this game in even less regard until this time. So, that is it. So we're going to go ahead and chop off the local recording.